Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Chess.com 2026 Hyperbullet Championship. I am Grandmaster Amon Hambleton, and I'm joined by Grandmaster Benjamin Bach. Bach, thanks for having me. First of all, I know you're hosting a lot of these community events, but I got to say, this one, does it feel the least like a community event? I mean, this is a big name event with the strongest bullet players that we have.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is one of the community events that is not a variant. We will be playing real chess, and Amon, it is a real pleasure to be joined here by you. I mean, I would have loved to see you play, but I'm more than happy to hear your expertise as we cover this event.
Yeah, we'll be covering 30-second chess. I am guilty, Bach. I don't know if you are as well, of playing a heck of a lot of this variant of chess. You know, you can almost call it a variant because, man, 30 seconds, it's so different from regular chess. It's so different, Bach, even from regular bullet. And why don't we remind everybody the format for today? This is what we're about to get into. It's a knockout format, and yes, it's double elimination. There are 8 players that are taking part. 20 minutes goes on the clock. So we're using the countdown format. You must win by 2, which I love that rule. You know, there's nothing worse than just down by 1 game in a hyperbullet match, someone claiming a victory. No, got to win by 2, and it's 30 seconds, no increment on the clock. Bach, I mean, what stands out to you about this format here?
Yeah, really happy to see that it is double elimination. I mean, we have many great players playing in this event, and it's really nice that if they lose the first match, we don't have to say goodbye to them yet. They still have a chance to come back.
Yeah, exactly right. And I mean, let's take a look at those players that you're talking about, because an early loss for any of these players does not mean goodbye. And let's have a look at this list here. We've got at the very top, we've got Andrew Tang, Andy Woodward. Of course, the viewers might be looking at this and saying, hang on, well, that's not quite in order. Andy Woodward has the highest rating, but I believe these seeds, Buck, are in the order in which they qualified, so a little bit different there. And obviously, Andy Woodward boasting the highest rating, but you've got Blue Bomb, Renato Terry, James Kirillov, Jeffrey Zhang. You've got FIDE Master Dinser and Havard from Turkey and Norway, respectively. They're bringing up the bottom of the standings here, but I mean, we're about to enter one of the most unpredictable, truly unpredictable formats. Are we going to see any upsets, Bach, is my question as we take a look at the bracket.
Yeah, let's have a look at this bracket as we zoom in. Honestly, in my opinion, like, it's really difficult to beat someone that is better than you at Hyperbullet. If someone is just better and they're faster, I mean, I know from my own experience, I can just lose 20 games in a row, right? Yeah. So, but at the top, the differences become very small. So I do expect the heavy favorites to win their matches, but we definitely have some interesting matches that could go either way.
Yeah, we have the winners. Obviously, starting in the winners quarterfinals, there's 8 players here. Tang and Havard going to be playing up at the top there, top left. Renato Terry against Kirillov. Woodward against Dinser. We have Blue Bomb against Jeffrey Zhang as well. And, you know, looking at these pairings and what we maybe expect to be the closest, I think you and I, Bach, were kind of on the same page that despite the big names here, I think 2 of the matchups that I'm expecting to be closest, Renato Terry and James Kirillov, as well as Blue Bomb and Jeffrey Zhang. I think the Blue Bomb and Jeffrey Zhang matchup is a matchup maybe of players that we're used to for their chess expertise outside of 30 seconds, which is so exciting to see the matchup here. No idea what's going to happen. And Kirillov and Terry, 2 players that are really specializing in online chess. And, you know, whether it's 30 seconds or time controls even shorter than 30 seconds, Bach, these guys are all super fast.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, if Terry versus Kirillov would have been 1 minute, I definitely pick Terry. He's the better player. If this match would be 10-second chess, I mean, yes, that format exists as well. I'll pick Kirillov. So this is a little bit in between. So hard to pick a player here, but I would still give the tiny edge to Terry. In the other match you mentioned, I'm expecting some high quality chess, actually, even though it is 30 seconds.
Yeah, the thing about 30-second chess, which is really interesting, is you can have 2 of the absolute best players, and the match score could end up being like 15-3, because it's one of these weird formats where you could be exceptional, and yet there's so much momentum, there's so much tilt that could play a role here. So you can have blowout scores with amazingly, equal matched opposition. So I'm curious to see if we'll get any of that. And Bach, I think we have games just around the corner here as we're about to get in. All the matches will be played concurrently here in the winners quarterfinals.
Yeah, the matches are about to get underway, and we are off. The action is so super fast. Look at this speed.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you said the action was off, if we didn't, immediately get to the games, the action might have been over. As we see the first game starting out, I will say that for me personally, when I'm playing these formats, you got to get used to things. Like I rarely jump in and play a great Hyperbullet game, but some people do. Starting really well is a really important skill, and you have to remember that some things don't apply from regular chess. Opposite color bishop
Oh,
positions, as an example, those are free wins.
do you see that blunder by Terry? I believe he could have just taken a queen on d8,
That's
but he
correct.
didn't, and now he's losing, but he's up a few seconds on the clock.
Yep. Unsurprising first results there for Woodward and Tang, both getting it done with the white pieces. We definitely expect in those matchups probably some one-sided scores. And then in the other two, I think it could be a little closer. One thing I'm noticing, Blue Bomb and Zhang, look at that time difference. That is something, even though it's game number one, you keep 10 seconds up compared to your opponent, Buck. I mean, you're just going to win almost every game.
Yeah, 10 seconds is a lot. And we see here Terry winning the first game against Churilov. Churilov was just not in time to get the final pawn off the board.
Yep.
So let's move. Okay, here we
I,
have the next
I feel
game.
like yeah, Terry against Chirillov, that's probably the one to follow if we had to pick one of these four matchups. I think we do estimate that it probably will be the closest there. So yeah, maybe we can take a look at that one as joining in on a checkmate. I feel like this is going to be a common experience here in the Hyperbullet Championship.
Absolutely. Yeah, one thing that is a bit concerning though for Churilov is that even though he checkmated Terry at the end, he was again down a few seconds. And you don't want that to be the pattern in Hyperbullet. If every game you're going to be down like 4 or 5 seconds,
Yep,
your opponent's going to win a lot of games.
that's right. And just certain things do not apply in 30-second the way they do in maybe a regular chess game, like the value of material. I will happily sacrifice the exchange. A knight is almost better than a rook in so many cases. So you will see the players taking more liberties like that.
Yeah. That being said, in this position, I do prefer the rook. I mean, he's now can now try to mop up some pawns. Oh, he left the knight hanging. That would have been GG on the spot. Now it
Yep, but
remains
look at
tricky.
this. This knight though is jumping around.
Yep, that's so annoying. And Terry up a second on the clock. That's a big deal.
Yeah, if you can
Oh,
take that pawn, and he does, this could be anything could happen here still.
oh, and Churilov wins on time. What a crazy time scramble.
Yeah, look at that. No, this is. I would say those are the types of positions, and we see it basically get demonstrated on the board. Of course, you prefer the rook there because I mean it's just winning for black, but the knight in a 30-second format is such a valuable thing to have.
Absolutely. Well, and look at this game. Even on the board, but Churilov up a few seconds.
Yep. That might be something that we just have to get used to because if I was, predicting how things might go, I think that's a pretty good prediction to make.
Hmm. Terry, one thing that always stands out to me when I watch him play and when I play him myself is that he's such a good maneuver.
Yep.
Here though, okay, he's down a few seconds again.
Yep. That this is going to be all you need here. And look at H5, just opening things up. You don't need to actually win with white. You really just need to, he's going to win probably on the board. Trade the
On the
queens with queen
clock.
G3. There you go.
Yeah, and Churilov takes a 2 point lead there. In the meantime, we see Annie Woodward blowing Dinser away. It's 4-0. Tang
Yep.
also having a comfortable lead, and Bluebomb as well.
Yeah, if I'm looking at these matchups, it's pretty much exactly what we thought. I did expect Blue Bomb to have the edge over Jeffrey, but still it could be close. But the other matchups, yeah, 4-0, 3-1. I think this one that we're seeing here is the battle that will be the closest. This is a position where Terry, I feel like if he's going to get some wins, it's going to be mostly on the board. And this is one that looks dominant and yeah, he's going to win this one immediately.
Yep, he's winning this one, so bring the difference down to 1 point. We see Churilov making a few more moves, probably to prolong the game as he
Yeah.
has a lead in the match.
Yeah, why not? That match time remaining, top left of your screen. That's what's important to pay attention to. You do have to win by 2, so we'll keep that in mind. But looking at some of these scores, Andy Woodward 5-0. It's not that he's up against a weak opponent. This is what I was saying. You can be so strong, and it just the style of your opponent, the unlucky flags, it can all work against you in one match, and boom, you're down like 10-0.
Yeah. Another thing that stands out to me, Amon, is that Andrew Tang is in the lead, but only by 1 point. We considered him a heavy favorite. I
Yep.
believe he's also the back-to-back champion, but Howard Hawk is putting up a really good match so far.
Yep, that has to be said as Chirilov picks up material. That's the thing about Chirilov in this matchup is, if you're trying to keep up with him on the clock, it might be at the cost of maybe some of the quality of your position as well.
Yeah, and Sherlock opens up a 2 point lead again. Yeah, he's a tough cookie.
Yep, 4-2. We can probably make more of a judgment, around the halfway mark because you can still gain so many wins and points back, even being down early like this for whoever's down in the match right now. You wouldn't be counting yourself out at all.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're not even halfway. Oh, but there goes an important pawn for Terry. And, but 96, he still has an advantage here.
Yeah. Yeah, on the board, getting it done. Now, opposite bishops is another one where you really feel like you can operate on the opposite color of that bishop that your opponent has and just be able to pre-move the entire game, which is really nice. So nice there. I think opposite bishops, Bach, is almost something I treat as a win condition. If you're up on time and you have opposite bishops, you start thinking to yourself, okay, this is a guaranteed win. Because if I can pre-move every move, I have more time. My opponent will run out of time. At some point, it becomes a math equation.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it depends on how much time your opponent still has. Let's say he has 10 seconds, then he can pre-move his way to the 50 move row as well. But if he
Yep.
only has 3 seconds, he can never get there. And like you said, it's just a mathematical win.
Yep.
In the meantime, the match between Bluebom and Zhang is really close as well. And Tang Hawk also 4-3.
Yeah. Let's have a look here. About 8 minutes gone, and taking a look first at this. It looks like it is 4-4 right now, but the position seems like it's not updating, right?
Yep. Let me see if. Uh, all right, we're working on that. Okay,
There
Matthias
we go.
wins this one, takes a 1 point lead. Let's see if
The
Jeffrey
thing
can fight back.
the results and the moves are coming in so quick. It's like, let me update that. Oh, another game finished. Okay, let me update it again.
All right,
I
let's
see
see if we can
Duper
make.
get his first win against Woodward, which that's just he's the highest rated player, Woodward, in the event. So really tough first round pairing, but double elimination. So you can lose, maybe have a bad first match, but you just want to get comfortable with the format, get some wins on the board for your confidence, and you can definitely still win in the subsequent matches.
Yeah, look at these pre moves from Tang making his way through and delivering the checkmate as
Yep.
he takes a more comfortable lead. 3 points is quite significant. If you're, let's say, 2 points ahead, your opponent brings it back to one. At some point, you start to get a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, I agree. It looks like Tang holding that 3 point lead, and now it looks 5-5. Okay, here we go. This is the match that I definitely think Blue Bomb has the edge, but Jeffrey Zhang, I put him in that category of almost someone that's eternally underestimated in every format. He's a guy that finds a way to be good at just about everything. Puzzles, blitz format, bullet, hyper bullet, it doesn't matter.
Yep, that's sad. He's down a few seconds and worse on the board. So Matthias having a great chance here
Hmm.
to extend his lead.
Yeah, there's something in bullet, especially hyper bullet, which is what I'll call a pre-movable position. and usually that involves your pieces being on like solid squares. In this position, I would say black does not have a pre-movable position because you're worried about the A pawn, the H pawn. You can never really trust the pre-move because at some point someone could sneak a pawn past you, like just pre-move it up the board, even if it's a bad move. There's no rules in Hyperbullet.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So let's see. Matthias now has a 2-point lead. We see Terry and Churilov are neck and neck, still tied.
Yep. Did it update further? I see Matthias 6-5. Is he up by one or?
It's 6-4. So he's up by 2. But Jeffrey has a good opportunity to win here. Ooh.
Yeah, I see 6-5 on my. I see Jeffrey with 5 there.
Uh-huh.
Because I think it was just 5-5. But maybe you're just calling a 2-point lead because you're predicting based on the current position, Bach. I think.
Yes. Looks like Matthias is going to win this one, winning on the board and the clock.
Yeah,
There we have
exactly.
it.
There you go. There's a 2-point lead. And look at that, up 11 seconds. Like, this is the kind of stuff that gets really demoralizing almost because I've had the experience playing stronger bullet players than myself. And you just, at some point, you feel like you just can't beat them. Like, it's impossible. It's like they're always up 5+ seconds.
Yep, and Matthias is crushing again. He's he missed the checkmate in 2. That's a little bit sloppy at Queen G7 knight D6, but he's still winning
Ooh,
here.
yeah, good call. I feel like for a moment there, we got a glimpse of the like chess.com analysis. And if that had been on for the entirety of our games thus far, I think we would see a lot more double question marks because that was the first time I saw them in action.
Yeah, no, indeed. All right, I feel like they've had this. Wait,
This
okay,
almost
Jeffrey
looks
wins.
like a repeat, Buck.
Yes, indeed. Okay, he's up a piece. Jeffrey needs to win this game to come back in the match.
Yep. And up a piece like this is I think a little bit part of the style that I've seen from Blue Bomb is he puts a heavy emphasis on speed, absolutely at the cost sometimes of his pieces and maybe the quality of his position because he's good enough to play, kind of a bad position pretty well.
Yep. All right, Jeffrey should be able to get this done. I mean, 10 seconds is. Okay, yeah,
Ooh,
he's
a
gonna win
nice
this one.
fork there. Knights are so tricky.
Yep. Still okay. He gets it done. It's back to
Mhm.
2. All right,
We're
let's
seeing the
see.
scores update with sort of what we expect. Andrew Tang, Andy Woodward, crushing performances, and the closer matchups being this Blue Bomb Zhang and Chirilov Terry.
Yeah, and Terry and Churilov had a draw. I wonder how that happened. I think that's been our only draw of this tournament. I would expect a repetition or maybe, insufficient material.
Yeah, I feel like your best bet there is insufficient material. The classic where you're completely winning and the king is sprinting across the board and you just can't get that mate in time.
Wait, Bishop F6. That fits the category exactly of like a speculate. Oh, there we have another draw. So
Another
that's how
draw.
draws happen. Yeah.
That's a funny draw because I was actually going to say that you should probably go for the result with white there, but Blue Bomb thinking maybe I have the lead, no need to worry. I've seen this position a few times. Every time I've seen it, I've liked white's game. I don't know about you,
Yeah,
Bach, but it just looks like a fantastic opening in a speed chess setting.
absolutely. Yeah. Nice initiative on the king side. Now he captured the center pawn.
Hmm.
So, Jeff is
Ooh, ooh, yeah.
he hung a full rook. That was a lot
Yeah, it
of
was a hug
material.
a bishop, and then the exchange thereafter. That I think we both winced at that one.
Yeah, but okay, Jeffrey doesn't miss now. He's up 3 seconds, so he's gonna bring it back to 1 point.
Yep, he's setting up
Don't
mate
slow.
here. Rook c4, but there's no rook c4 checkmate now.
But, but he's way too okay. It's not
Ooh, rook
okay.
b5
Gets it
was
done.
was helpful, and Jeffrey Zhang makes no mistake, brings it back 8.5, 7.5. You will often see Bach in this hyperbullet format wins. They don't just come once; they usually arrive in multiples. Like you'll go on a win streak very very often.
Oh man, look at this position. I think it's like the line Dave had, but reversed.
Backwards. I think you're right. Yeah, I think it's exactly correct. So somehow these guys have found a way to play the same position both sides of the board.
Okay, here I like Matthias though, as he's just up a piece and
Yep,
5 seconds.
that should do it. Still 4 minutes. That's so many hyper games. I was gonna ask Bach in that Tang and Havard match. Um, have they? Is it 8-6 or is there an updated score line in that one? 9-6 now, because remember it's win by two. So this margin with time going down, I'm a bit curious if Havard can really get within two and make a comeback.
Yeah, no, he's definitely giving Andrew a run for his money. That being said, Andrew's up by 3. It's going to be 4 after this game. So
Yep.
Tang really is a player that can start off a little slow, if you
Yep.
will, but if he gets a few games in, he's definitely one of the favorites in this field.
Yep. Yep. I think after seeing that result there, what looked like 8-6 explodes to 10-6, and that is going to be more than enough. So we think he's probably going to get that result in. And the other two matchups, they continue to be so close.
Absolutely. Yeah, Terry Trulo can go either way, only a 1 point margin. And looks like Matthias is going to open
Oh,
up a big lead here as
the
he just
time,
has so
yeah, the
much.
flagging is coming in.
Yeah.
Very nice. 10.5 for Blue Bomb. And I think, at what point do you start almost doing the math, Bach? When the match clock is at like 3 minutes, a 30-second game, that can take 1 minute for a single game. You start thinking, okay, I'm down like 3 points in the match. Remember, win by two is game over. So you gotta be playing your game to bring it within one when the match clock expires.
Yep, and it's probably gonna be another point here for Matthias, and that will mean a 4 point lead. I don't know if Jeffrey is coming back from that.
Yeah, that looks like too much. And it's really safe position here as well.
Okay, a little bit auto from
Yeah.
wait, he's hanging everything. What's going on?
Not that safe anymore. The D pawn can go. That king needs to make it on a light square for black.
Oh,
Ooh,
but
really
Jeffrey's got
nice.
1 sec. Okay, gets rid of the pawn, but I don't think he's gonna make it. No.
No, possibly not. And it's going to be a stalemate. But he only had point one, so you can't feel too bad about that because you weren't going to get the checkmate in regardless. So we've actually seen insufficient material, we've seen a repetition, and we've seen a stalemate box. So we've seen almost every way that you can draw a game in Hyper, and it's pretty impressive.
Indeed, yeah. Also, by the way, Terry and Churilov are now all tied up 8-8. So at some point, I feel like we have to go back to that one. Perhaps right
Yeah.
now is the moment.
Yeah, I think in this one, 11-8, it does look like Jeffrey is perhaps going to win that game, which is exactly what he needs. But nothing's closer than this. 9-8 Terry, but immediately we're seeing that Kirillov is bringing it back. We knew this would be the closest one. The sack on H3, and at this level, I think it's absolutely trivial that type of queen checkmate, even with literally 1 second on your clock.
Yep. All right. Okay. So actually, on my screen right here, I'm seeing it's 9-9. I don't know
Now
if
it
that is
is. Yep.
correct.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. 9-9,
Okay.
a minute and 14 seconds. So basically, you've got this game. Presumably, somebody will win, which means someone will have the lead. And if they win again, that's two right there. Otherwise, if it gets tied up, we will play additional games, right? You can see there, bottom right of your screen, up to 10 additional games. They're going to reverse colors each game, obviously. And you do have to win by two. If they go 10 more games and they keep trading wins, Bach, well, then we're gonna have to decide it again with sudden death. But we'll see if we get there.
I doubt it. In the meantime, Terry is down a couple pawns, but he is up a few seconds on the clock. And Black's got a pretty vulnerable king.
Yep. Ooh, E4 check. That hurts a little bit.
Okay, the
Ooh,
moves are.
look at the time. Black is just shuffling the king. When in doubt, shuffle the king for a 10-9 score line. 13 seconds left, though. You have to start the next game. And Kirillov can win things right here, but he's got to win. Any other result, we play more chess.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's some nice pre-moves there at the end by Churilov, like you said. Shuffling the king is often pretty safe because your opponent will often go for a lot of checks.
Yep.
If you move your king, Queen a4, Terry picking up the eighth. Oh, but there goes d5.
Yeah, but knight c2 is such a strong move. The knight should be a huge favorite in this endgame. Get those pawns on dark squares. There you go for black. Then now you don't have to worry about anything.
Oh, he lost his extra pawn though, and the king is cut off.
Oh, the knight is just a piece you can like seemingly never deal with. I'm so impressed that he managed to not lose any of his kingside pawns there.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Can Terry hold a draw here? Because he's down on the clock.
So as black, you can kind of just shuffle back and forth, but I'm so impressed that white with the bishop won that position. I'm actually really impressed. The knight is always a huge favorite to win. The other matches, Bach, already had winners, but in that one, it came down to the final game, and we actually technically didn't need any more games, right? That was a 2-point margin at the very end.
Absolutely. Yeah, so Churilov win by the skin of his teeth, but he gets it done. So let's have a quick look at the bracket I'm on.
Yeah, let's take a look here. We saw that Tang was starting to pull away at the very end, which is exactly what you need to do. And he's won his quarterfinal matchup. Moving on to the semis, and he's going to be joined by James Churilov there, who picked up the win against Terry, the closest match of the quarterfinals. So Tang and Churilov are matching up. Andy Woodward gets the win, dominant fashion, and Blue Bomb pulled away at the end to join Woodward in the winners semifinals. And that means in the losers round one, we have some of these matchups that are going to start to be extremely competitive, right? Naturally, usually the first matchups, they're a bit more lopsided, but I'm looking at that losers round one, Bach, and I know there's going to be some really close ones there in terms of, Havard and Renato Terry, Dinser against Jeffrey. Which one of those do you think will be our closest matchup?
Yeah, I think probably the one between Terry and Harvard Haug. Harvard gave Tang a really tough match. Tang persevered in the end. Terry, of course, also was neck and neck with Churilov, so that is definitely the closest one. That said, I would give the slight edge to Terry, and in the other match, I would also give the edge to Zhang. Who are your picks, Amon?
Yeah, Dinser, I'm curious to see in action because I think I've said before, it's easy to look bad, let's say, against a really strong player. And, there's a reason that he's here, for example, compared to so many other strong players on the website that didn't make it to this top 8. It means that he went through the qualifiers and simply performed better than everyone. So it's so easy to just I got crushed by Andy Woodward by, margin of 10 plus. But that's what Andy can do to you. That's one of the best players on the website. So I'm very curious to see how he's going to do against Jeffrey, because Jeffrey put up 8.5 points against Blue Bomb, but you could almost say that putting up 5.5 against Andy might be the more impressive number.
Absolutely. Yep. And then if we look at our winners bracket, I think the favorites definitely are going to be Tang and Andy Woodward. Blue Bomb had a nice win against Jeffrey, but Andy really is in another league, perhaps in a league of his own at this point.
Yep, Andrew, all the Andys, Andrew and Andy, they are going to be our favorites, I think, throughout this competition. Unless they play each other, no matter which matchups we see them in, you have to have them as a favorite, Bach.
Absolutely. Yeah, the games are going to get underway any second now. What do we expect from Tang? Do we think he's going to play your beloved London system or something else?
Yeah, it's interesting. I didn't quite catch what opening he was going for. One thing about 30-second chess is you usually pick something and stick to it. You're not usually playing maybe your regular openings where you kind of have a different theoretical move planned depending on what your opponent responds with, because you can't predict things that easily. People aren't going to play theory. So you more want to play something where your setup and you can repeat it in every single game no matter what.
Yeah, I think people really like systems indeed for 30-second chess. As like you say,
Hmm.
you can just throw out your moves. In the meantime, I think this looks really good for Tang, right? Extra pawn, and it's hard to see the compensation.
Yep. The compensation is that we're playing 30-second chess, I think. That's that's about it.
Yeah. One thing though about Tang is that sometimes he starts a little bit slow, right?
Yep.
Like, but he knows he can pick up the speed. But against Churilov, you cannot take too many luxuries on the clock.
Yep. I'm very curious to see how the Blue Bomb and Woodward match develops because that is absolutely one that Blue Bomb can perform in, but Woodward is one of the strongest players in the competition.
Well, and look at that time
Ooh.
scramble. Tang gets it done. He hung his rook, but it made Churilov spend a couple tenths of a second to take it.
Yep, that's part of the skill here. Oh, it looks like there's been a rook taken in the corner, which in 30-second chess, you can always just take it and hope that your queen escapes later. Because the worst that happens is maybe you trade your queen for two rooks.
Exactly. Yeah, but Tang's rook did queen did make it out, and now he's up a lot of material. Churilov's
It's
still fighting on though.
James, right? Trilov
Oh,
is,
never mind.
yeah.
Sorry.
No, we would naturally assume that, probably Tang's the stronger player. He would get it done. But yeah, there is mate in one in
But
this position. So he's,
is he doing this on purpose, or is there a
well,
delay?
yeah, he must be. Yeah, there we go.
Wait, why did he do that?
Yeah. No, he's taking time off the match clock. He's playing the long game already, Bach.
Yeah, he wants this match to be as least games as possible, to have more variance.
Yeah, I mean, on principle, you'd have to agree that that's a good strategy. That's correct, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. Okay, here Tang is a bit better, I'd say, and up a second or two. Although, oh,
Oh, drops F7. That's immediate game over. Yeah, can't blunder that one, and that's how quick things can change.
yeah. All right, so we saw Tang taking a lead earlier, but Shurilov striking back right away. Let's see if he can do it again.
So something that, just to be consistent with what we've said, Chirilov also let the clock run down in that position too, right? So it's interesting. It's not just like, oh, I'm winning. It's not like a BM sort of thing. It's part of his strategy, whatever it is, whether you agree or not. He wants to take time off the match clock and keep it to as few games as possible to give himself the best chance. Because you'd have to assume, oh, stronger player, which we admit is probably Andrew Tang, over a series of a number of games should probably perform.
Exactly. Yeah, here Tang is winning again. He's got the queen against the two rooks, but these pawns are just marching down the board, and one of them actually promotes to a queen, and he takes a 2 point lead.
That's right. Tang up 3-1. Just seeing the scores from some of the other matchups trickle in there. Andy Woodward with a really, really good start. But I just noticed that Blue Bomb, I think, picked up his first point there. So I expect that one to change and update momentarily.
Yeah. All right, so let's see. Tang winning once again. I mean, oh, he hung a knight there, though.
Yeah, can't say anything good about these guys. The jinx is in.
Exactly. You're like, oh, white's winning. Oh, he hung a rook. Yeah. Okay. Um,
It's really unpleasant for black not being able to castle and look at the attack that gets launched. Rook c8 coordinating with the queen from long range, and it's now 4-1. Now, I don't think with a 4-1 scoreline you can really afford to let the match clock keep ticking. So, might have to adjust that strategy.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, it looks like Tang really changed to a different gear. He really has upped his game. So tough for Churilov to keep up.
Mm-hmm. Yep, lots of pawns hanging here. It's more about the speed and knight b5, rook c1. Ooh, that's a checkmate, and thanks for the extra tempo, threatening the rook.
Yeah, that's a 4 point lead for Tang. I mean, looking tough for Churilov. Of course, he's up against one of the favorites of the field. So it can happen. And I'm honest, we look at the matches. I mean, none of the matches are particularly close at this moment. I mean, we see most matches having a leader.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like 3-1 at minimum. The matchup that I think is still extremely close, maybe we can take a look at Blue Bomb and Woodward, because Blue Bomb, he just has that erratic play style. And yeah, he's already at least won the last game, brought it back to 4-2. So I could see him winning this matchup, but it's probably going to be, I think, due to his speed here, because he plays, I think, a little bit loose, his Hyperbullet style. But give him an opportunity, and he'll find the tactic.
Yeah, and that's another win for Andy, taking a
Mhm.
3 point lead. Yeah,
Yep. If I'm thinking about Blue Bomb's style, it's like, for such a strong player, he does play in a way that allows maybe the most like tactics against him. Like he will blunder from time to time because he's really focused on playing extremely fast.
yeah. We saw an unfortunate mouse slip from Blue Bomb earlier. He accidentally moved the king to e2, but he still was able to castle by hand.
Yeah, his position actually looks extremely normal here.
Okay, he's down a few seconds though. And now bishop.
Yeah, king on h2, and the one thing about about the position now is you're just so much worse, and you can always throw in rook g2, rook g3, and then play a different move. Play a couple moves and then play something else. Such an annoying style.
Exactly. Yeah, that with that repetition, he was always able to get like a second or so off blue. Wait,
Oh,
wait. How did
can you
Andy all of
check
a
for us,
sudden lose a
Bach?
rook?
Was that bishop a3?
I think he got lafonged. Yeah.
We need to know. This is worth checking, everybody.
Yes.
Is this bishop
Yep.
a3? Yes, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Bishop
He's
a3 takes b2 because of the pre-move. And hey, when you're down, 6-2 in the match, got to throw one of those lifelines up there.
no, exactly. I think it was actually the right strategy because this might, potentially tilt Andy a little bit. Although he's not really susceptible to tilt, but you never know.
Yep. He's going to make sure to get the checkmate in here. There it is. And yeah, obviously it's a blunder when you look at it with the chess.com game review, but the nobody's looking at it with game review. That's designed to catch you pre-moving in the opening, and it's why Fianchetto openings are extremely dangerous to play in fast time controls.
Yeah. You always want to be careful. Actually, pre-moving that bishop to g2 or b2.
Hmm.
In the meantime, Mono, we see that Terry and Haug are only 1 point apart.
Yep, we're almost halfway through the round here. I see Blue Bomb is mounting a little bit of a comeback here. And yeah, I think he's winning material with that one. So another good game, and what was 6-2, that bishop sacrifice idea has brought it all the way back to potential just two game deficit. Let's see.
Yeah, and he's still fighting on here.
Oh,
Ooh,
he's
this
so
is
quick.
this is still tricky. Oh, and he might win this one.
Yep. Yeah, he should, based on what we're seeing here, because Black has all the pre-moves. And wow, that is going to be a win for Andy as we're on to, this looks like I was going to say that looks like last match there, 7-3. But you were mentioning Haug and Terry. Maybe we can take a look at that one. It's now tied up, Bach.
Yeah, let's switch to that one. We see here Terry, okay, up a couple pawns, but it's probably going to be a repetition.
Yeah, White's down on time, which is why he's so okay with the repetition. Because if he wants to play for a win, White can bring the queen back with queen f2.
Yeah, right. But I think it's the right call to just repeat moves. Um,
Let's see. And Jeffrey Zhang with an early lead against Dinser. So really a tough event for, I think, is it Dinser, or yeah, maybe Havard is actually the lowest rated. But it's so hard to go by ratings in something like this because your Hyperbullet rating, or your bullet rating, I guess it is, but if you play Hyperbullet mainly, it can change like 200 points in a day.
yeah, we see here this position is obviously a draw, but okay. but Harvard is up a second or two.
In these, what I often find is a good strategy. First of all, white's better because the king is sheltered, so you never have to deal with checks. But sometimes a good strategy I see people play if they want to get the speed is they play like rook f1, rook g1, rook h1, rook h2. Like they move the rook right around their king, so you can't blunder it to a check or a pre-move, and it's extremely safe.
Yeah, we see Terry has lost a pawn now, but the main thing is that his king is now always open to checks.
And there's a blunder. This is a pattern you can advance up the board, the pawn, the king, the rook, and he'll get it done.
Yeah, Harvard takes the lead as we cross the halfway mark. Let's see if Terry can come back here.
5.5, 4.5. Some of the other matchups, I mean, our favorites are doing favorite things. Andrew Tang, 8 points. Andy Woodward, 8 points, doubling the scores of their opponents. Jeffrey Zhang, a gap of 5 points right here. And in this one, which is our closest matchup, I think allowing h5, h4 was a horrible mistake. And now I believe that Black is invading successfully and is looking to win this game here.
Yeah, I don't see Terry holding this one. Should be a way to eventually break through. Maybe bring the king around as he's doing.
Yep, knight f2 is there, but there's rook d1 now that the king has gone too far over to the king side. That's exactly what he's going to play. One by one, everything falls. You can sack for that knight. I think that's the best practical decision. And great idea to take a 2-point lead for Havard, who, like you said, he was just up against one of the favorites in the first round, but it's not really a good representation of what he can bring to the table.
Absolutely. Yeah. Terry down 2 points. Let's see how he will try to come back. He's up a pawn here. That's a good start.
Yeah, it feels like I don't know what the sentiment between the players is, but sometimes you always end up a pawn. Like just the way that you pre-move your opening against someone, it's like you always end up winning the same material. But if you end up losing the game, sometimes it's frustrating. You're like, I win this guy's pawn or his piece every game, but I can't actually win the game.
Yeah, okay, we have a rook in game 3 versus 3 again, but Terry down a couple seconds on the clock. I think he has to trade and go for the draw.
Yeah. This is definitely not a position that white can win. Trying to win it. This is not winning for black, but you're only offering yourself a chance to lose. So I definitely don't agree with that choice. Nevertheless, he's going to get the draw by repetition. So safe enough, I guess.
Yeah, I think Terry would have liked to keep the game going there, but perhaps he just accidentally ran into a repetition. I mean, it is
Yeah.
a draw on the board, but you have chances to flag your opponent.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can run your king around. The only difficulty is if you've had experience playing those positions, there's only so many things you can try. So, a good player I would expect to get the draw, but absolutely his position you play out. So he did not mean to take that draw 100%.
Yeah. All right, so let's see here. Terry maybe a tiny bit better with an F4 break coming, and there we have it, but difficult to really make things happen here.
Yeah, I think having the knight and bishop is great. If it was just the bishop, then I might always favor the knights because, yeah, it's just knight is such a tricky piece. It's helpful though that pawns are on light squares here.
Yeah, all right, so let's see. Terry, he's down a little bit on the clock in there.
The knight though,
Oh,
Bach, the knight's starting to do stuff.
yeah. Um, wow, he really lost a lot of speed there.
The knight can just shuffle to c8 and back. Yeah, the knight every single time. I mean, it's such a broken record thing to say, but the knight beats the bishop. That's something you have to get used to.
Yep, and now it's a 3 point lead for Havard.
Yeah, so we have about 5 minutes remaining. Safe to say for Andrew Tang, he's absolutely got that match, 12-4 currently. Andy Woodward, it is possible that a comeback could be staged, so can't count that one out yet. But I think I just saw him win another one, so he's definitely in the driver's seat, as well as Jeffrey Zhang. So Terry and Haug, I feel like we are on what will be the closest matchup all the way to the finish line here, Bach.
Yep, Terry up a pawn here. He has to win this one. Wait, is A4 winning in case it takes?
Yeah, B3.
B3.
Game
Yeah,
over.
GG. Okay, Harvard is going to play this out. He's up in the match, so you want to get some time off the clock.
Mm-hmm. You can push some pawns here. It's, yeah, not going to be a guaranteed checkmate. He can keep running away as he's doing. So really good job actually by White, being as tricky as possible. Ooh, and there was a bit of
Wait,
a
I
slip
think he
there.
hung his queen there
He
for a
did,
second,
yeah.
and okay.
So hey, if he had taken that queen, he honestly could have won that game. But you can never expect a move like that. He was pre-moving as he should be.
Exactly. Yep. Okay, so it's down to 4 minutes on the clock.
Yep.
Terry only needs to bring it back to one.
Yeah, that's correct. 8 to 6, 4 minutes, really loads and loads of time still for things to change. Whereas it looks like in the other matchups, it's almost mathematically over, which does mean, I guess, right now, Dinsera is going to be our first exit, is what it's looking like, unless he can really, really pile the wins on in these last 3.5 minutes. But same predicament here for Terry. He has to get this win, especially up a pawn in a king and pawn endgame block. There's no excuses here.
No, but I'm pretty sure he is getting the win. Like, wait, why is he not taking on a5? Okay, he's gonna get the win though.
Well, I think Bach, it's a hyperbullet thing. If you take on a5, you have to worry about b4. So instead, you sort of pre-move the recapture a b4, and in the meantime, push your pawn. So it's like a hyperbullet tendency where you never want to have your opponent with a random pawn move that they can throw at you and catch you when you're not looking.
Huh. Okay, no, okay, I'm learning. Like that's actually
Yeah, there's a
good to
big,
know.
big advanced hyperbullet theory.
Okay, nice. We see here lots of traits. Are we gonna see our first draw of the match here?
Yeah, good question. The knights look more dangerous on black side just because you're gaining more space with the pawns, but things can flip. Like that G pawn, knight shows up on h3. You could lose that one. Everything falls apart.
Okay. Ooh, he hangs d5. That's and b6. Oh,
Oh, everything's falling. G5. Yeah, take your pick. He's going to have to
Terry
drop
up.
the D pawn, though.
Yeah, and Terry is up on time, so this is not over.
Ooh, knight
Ooh,
D4.
this
Uh-oh.
can go.
How did this happen?
I like white now as he has the better king.
He's going to try to take the pawn. Yeah, that's very smart. They're going to draw by repetition, but white was basically going to repeat knight a3, knight b5 forever. The lead is
Yeah,
currently 1 point from what I'm seeing on the match clock. Very likely we get 2 games. And you know what, Bach? We could actually get 3, depending how quick some of these games finish. I mean, Hyperbullet, sometimes you're just like lost in 10 seconds.
absolutely. Yeah. Oh, that pin looks pretty nasty, but Terry gets out of it.
Knight
What do you
b1.
think about that pawn on h6 on? I mean, do you think it's a weakness or an
Yep.
asset in this position?
I think it's a weakness. I think it's going to, potentially disappear. I would have played probably queen f8 and immediately captured it. It's that idea has been delayed so much longer than I ever would have.
Wait, he hung the bishop on f6, but Terry missed it.
And
And
the H pawn was actually a huge asset in the end.
indeed, I think Terry is not going to make it. He's down
So
too
yeah,
much.
Terry here has losing the bishop really, really hurts. But I was gonna say black has the unpleasant experience of having to worry about a7 as a pre-move. Yeah, he was up so
Mhm.
much time, I guess it didn't matter.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So tough loss there for Terry. I mean, I'm pretty sure had he taken that bishop on f6 earlier, he would have had enough time to finish off the game. But
Yep.
now it's Harvard who
It's a
takes a
must
2-point lead.
win for Terry with the black pieces because that match clock will expire, and every other match is pretty one-sided. Tang and Woodward, perhaps more so than the other matchups. 16 and a half, 5.5, identical score lines for the two best players in this event. Jeffrey Zhang, though, don't underestimate. He's storming through the losers bracket. This, however, is a must-win game for Black, and he's given himself a position to win. He just might flag along the way, Bach.
Yeah. Okay. He's up 2 pawns. I think just check and push the pawn to a2. I think that's generally a good strategy. Oh.
Mm-hmm. White has a really safe and pre-movable position though. It's so empowering to have your rook behind the pawn like that as white, because you can move the rook anywhere. So let's see. He's going to have to push that f pawn. No, he's going to hide the king in the corner. He's going to go back. Smart. Look at that. Oh
Oh,
my
what a
goodness.
nasty pre-move.
Havard just took the win. I mean, Bach, that was the final game. That's incredible. Rook to h8. This is the kind of thing I would be, slamming my hand into my desk, because he just robbed a victory and perhaps more chess games and a potential comeback. He just robbed it in plain sight from Renato Terry.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think though Terry took a little bit too long to push that pawn to a2. I think, if you get that pawn to a2, white can never pre-move anymore, and you're going to win on the board or on the clock, but it took a little bit too much time, and then only had a couple seconds.
So that is how it ends. A nice dirty. I mean, we were honestly playing a little bit too clean, Bach, for the Hyperbullet Championship. So I'm glad that we got that, and now we can take a look at the bracket and what that means for the matchups in terms of the score lines and where people are going to end up after those results. So we did see that. I think it was the favorites, right? The story was clear. They dominated their matchups. Matter of fact, almost an identical scoreline, Bach, as Andrew Tang crushes Chirillov and Andy Woodward crushes Matthias Bluebaum. They both move on to the winners final. It's so likely that whoever loses comes right back to face them again. So this is a matchup that we will not get tired of. That is your winners final. That one is coming up. But in the losers quarterfinals, we now know the matchups, and we have seen an exit for two players. That's Dinser and Renato Terry. Just not enough points put on the board here in that losers round one. Havard with probably the moment of the match there with that sneaky rook h8 at the very end. So Havard and Jeffrey move on. Looking at these matchups though, Bluebaum, Havard, Chirillov, Jeffrey Zhang, Bach, what are you thinking? As most of the Americans are moving on here.
Yeah, no, I mean, Tang against Woodward is going to be a close one. In the losers bracket, I think Bluebaum should be the favorite, and then I think Chirillov as well. Chirillov, definitely a faster player than Jeffrey.
Right.
So let's see if Jeffrey can hold his own in that one.
Yep, I'm with you on those. That's what it's feeling like based on what we've seen so far. But, for the first time, the players are finally going to get just a little bit of a break. We'll give them a hyper break for the Hyperbullet event. And before we go to break, I want to remind everyone that, of course, Father's Day is right around the corner. And the Chess.com store, they just dropped an exclusive bundle to help you remind him he's still your favorite opponent. Trust me, you're probably not his favorite opponent. Right now, you get 20% off a clean, kind of minimalistic tee. The classic green pawn is embroidered onto the hat, and there's a full premium chess set with a travel bag. So you can head over to go.chess.com/Father's Day exclusive, or type !dad in the chat to grab the discount before it's gone. So make sure to check that out. Huge shout out to all of the fathers out there, and we will be right back for more Hyperbullet Chess right after this.
We want you to show us a chess trap on the board that not everybody knows.
Okay, I think this one I have maybe shown it before. So this is on black side. So fairly normal. I think one of the very popular openings even at amateur level. And here black goes knight b d7. So okay, if white continues normally, it's just normal, nothing special. But if white thinks that black blundered this tactic with knight takes d5, so this is the actual trap. Black takes back. After that, this intermediate mode check, and white is forced to block with the queen. Take, and bishop is taken, and now after everything is settled, black is a piece up. So
Your game is evolving, now your style should too. Welcome to the Chess.com merch store, your home for everything off the board. We've studied the theory of comfort so you don't have to. The Essentials collection is the ultimate low-profile kit. Premium tees, hoodies, and hats with zero distractions. It's the baseline for your wardrobe that lets your moves do the talking. From the classic rook to the legendary mittens, our plushies now come in every color to match your setup. Mostly because they'll never judge your accuracy. And for those who still love the tactile feel of a win, explore our official chess sets. Durable, tournament-ready, and designed to handle every celebratory slam or graceful resignation. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned pro, we've got the perfect setup for you. So head over to chesscom.shop to explore these and many more. Grab your favorites before they're gone.
Okay, this is the Grandmaster A to Z Challenge. There are more than 2,100 Grandmasters who have ever lived. Your job is to name one for each letter of the alphabet A through Z. You can do first or last name.
Francine.
Felix Cizeta.
Yeah, I will do 5 minutes.
Fidoce, okay.
Fabiano.
4, Alexander 4. Garry Kasparov.
G. Gaprindashvili.
Ganguly, let's say.
Girlfriend.
Geller.
Agokesh. David Howell.
H. Hector.
Hikaru.
Hare Krishna.
Hans.
H. Hans. I'll go Istvan Sum.
Ivanov.
Ilyas Miriam.
Irina Crush.
Jan Nepomniachtchi.
Jules Mussard.
J. Jones.
Jabashir. Jeffrey Sean.
J. Jan Gustafsson. K. Karpov.
Ковалев.
Khalifman, let's say, yeah. Kramnik.
K. Myself. Ding Livan, I suppose. Okay.
Lanier Dominguez.
Lee Levon. Levon.
Lisi.
Morozevich.
Batvinik, yeah, like, yeah. Morozevich.
Magnus.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Hyperbullet Chess Championship, as I like to call it, Bach, the most prestigious event on the calendar. Nobody would miss it, and that's why we have some of the strongest players in bullet chess here. But, you know, Hyperbullet's not quite that bullet chess format. It is a little different, so we have some real specialists in here as well. It might not have the highest ratings, but they are extremely dangerous in this format, Bach. And, you know, I just keep thinking to the two players that I think we both have our eyes on, right? Andrew Tang and Andy Woodward. We are finally going to see them face off in the winners final. And of course, we have the losers quarterfinals coming as well. But I'm feeling that this could be even a preview of, you know, a grand final reset at the very end. So, Bach, I mean, how do you even make any expectations going into a matchup as close as this one surely will be?
Yeah, it will definitely be a close matchup. And, you know, the championship will not be decided right there and then. Mm-hmm. But, you know, you will get a seed in the grand final and your opponent will still have to win another match to come back. And if they do, the winner will still have an extra life. Besides, Amon, it might give them a little bit more confident in case it does come to a rematch.
That's a good point. Yeah, whoever wins the match will also get to kind of sit on the sidelines for a little bit. I would almost wager with Hyperbullet that it might be better to play more games. Now, I'm not saying it'd be good to lose and then have to play more chess, but there's something about Hyperbullet. I don't feel the players have played a lot of chess so far for Hyperbullet standards. I mean, you can usually play like hundreds of these games in one session.
Absolutely. Yeah, we see Tang winning here. I mean, also the knight is just so tricky. He gets the queen, and this should be the first win of the match.
You'd think so, yep. And then, interesting going in with the knight, but yeah, that will get it done there. And, we have two other matchups going on as well, Chirillov and Jeffrey Zhang. I think this will actually be a really close matchup. I give more of an edge to Blue Bomb against Havard, but Chirillov and Zhang, it's kind of a style matchup where I feel like Chirillov should be the absolute faster player and will seize his moments. He knows a lot of the tricks that are helpful to know within the Hyperbullet format. But Jeffrey Zhang, ultimately just a much stronger player. So if it ever comes to, games getting decided on the board, he has a huge edge.
Yeah. Going into this match, Amon, I would think that perhaps Andy was a slight favorite. I mean, he's such a good bullet player. But Andy is up a point and is winning in the second game as well.
Yep. Here we go. Andrew Tang. What a great start that is. He's definitely, probably slightly more of a household name, but people are getting used to Andy Woodward. He's made an appearance in so many of the events, whether it's puzzles, bullet, Hyperbullet. I'm sure in the years to come, we'll be seeing names like that in the SCC and those more slightly more serious formats as well. So lots of fans, I think, of both of these players.
Yeah, Andy off to a nice start again. He's up a pawn, but he's down a lot of time on.
It's at this level significant, like to the point where I'm wondering how it happened, because you will never see these guys down that much time. At this point, it becomes a win condition. You don't need to worry about the board as much because, just throw in some checks, always offer some piece trades. Take your opportunities here.
Oh, and that's unfortunate for Tang that Andy was able to just defend with the knight. Had he gotten the rook out, would have been a draw, but now it's a win for Andy.
But that's why the time is so significant. By the way, that knight maneuver to guard that pawn, especially exactly when he needed to have it done, that was extremely impressive. But when you're down that much time, your opponent knows that you're going for these last minute tricks to simplify, and he's going to be one step ahead of you.
Absolutely. Yeah, we see here Andy has an advantage on the board, so maybe he can build on that momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and again, I'm on up a lot of time.
Yeah, a ton. I mean, Andrew Tang is someone that in Blitz or something, like, we do know that he can be a little bit slow, super quick at the end, but gets into time pressure early on. But in Hyperbullet, that same feeling is so much worse because you start with less time to begin with.
Yeah, you really cannot be down 5 to 6 seconds, every single game. It gets close at the end here, though.
Yeah, oof. And getting the rook to d1 and then sniping the queen. He's going to keep the pawn as well.
Oh, that is a tough loss for Andy.
Oh my goodness. 2-2. What a close battle between these guys. And I think really all the matches are starting to close up. We actually see some half points early on in many of the other matchups. I think as soon as draws are starting to appear on the board, that's when matchups are getting really, really close.
Yeah, and Andrew trying to fight back in this game. He's up a few pawns and controlling the clock a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's key because so far, I think that Andrew has been getting the good side of most of the positions, and this is another example of that. He just has to keep the time in check. Now, obviously, things could shift, but that's what it's looking like early on.
Absolutely. Yeah, and really important for Andrew to get that winning quickly, not to give Andy a big momentum. Oh, and we see Andrew winning a couple pawns there.
It really is, like, especially in Hyper, it is hard to keep track. Andy, Andrew, who's up, who's down.
Okay, we see Andy is up a pawn and quite a significant one, but
Yep.
again, down a few seconds on the clock.
As is typical, but I have to say, I think he's got it covered here. Checkmate, and he's actually going to wait a bit here. I wonder if White should resign.
Probably, yeah, he probably should resign. The only thing that can save him is Andrew disconnecting, but he gets it with 1 second on the clock.
Nicely done there. 4-2, early advantage, but I look at a differential of 2 games with 14 minutes left, and I don't even blink. Like that's nothing.
Wait, that's a blunder by Andy, as now he's just down a piece.
Yeah, he's going for a tactic that's actually really common in this kind of Benko formation where you sack on d5 and take on c3. I think he forgot that his rook on a8, his own rook, was hanging in the process. So yeah, he ended up on the wrong end of that.
And I think he can resign here as he's now down another piece. That being said, in Hyperbullet, you always play it out.
Yeah, you can resign if you like only look at the pieces, but I would pretty much never resign a Hyperbullet game unless I lose my queen, in the first couple of moves.
Oh, and Andrew down to seconds on the clock. This is not over yet.
This is what I mean. There's a lot to play for. The king is actually really secure on that square, and the pawn is going to go to h6 and stay on the board. Andrew Tang continues to get beaten due to the clock.
I think he just completely relaxed in that game. He's up 2 pieces. He was even up on time, but he just completely let loose.
Yep. No, this is a good reminder. He absolutely can never resign when stuff like that is possible, even at the top level, I think, of Hyperbullet.
Yep, can never resign, and you can never relax. Again, Andrew down 5 seconds on the clock. We've seen that before.
I wonder who benefits from this exchange. Now, surely we're just looking at a draw, but for Black, I'm wondering if you can actually win this thing.
Yeah, he is winning. And I think for Andrew, it's enough time to finish it off.
Yep. And yeah, he's going to take that. Queen, no problem here. He's even got another one if he wants it. Andrew Tang getting it done on the board. Oh, we see an opening that, it might look like a mouse slip, but this is very much an opening some people play. This version of it, one of the worst I've ever seen. This looks really bad.
Yeah, and I don't understand why, because 1d4 was going great for Andrew. Why switch up the opening?
I do not know. Boy, this position looks bad. Rook takes e3. Probably you sack there without even calculating.
Queen d3 picks up the... Oh, queen f5. Oh, queen f5. Queen f5. Misses it.
Yeah, misses it a few times in a row. And now the knight's coming to e5, bishop d5. And I think that Black has this one.
Yeah, you just cannot hold this position in Hyperbullet.
Yep. I would be playing queen e2 as a way to trade queens, even if it loses a piece. It's just like a simplification idea.
Or there's still... No, okay. Okay. And that's a win for Andy.
Yep, and getting it done on the board in that one, which is a nice change for Andy, because he was mostly getting it done, on the clock. And just an update block, I was looking at Chirillov, Jeffrey Zhang. It looks like maybe more of a specialist treatment of this time control compared to maybe the stronger chess is prevailing so far, although things can change.
Yeah, we see here, oh, that's a nasty move. Okay, so we see Andy tying it up, bringing it back to 5-5.
Yeah, this will definitely be a win for White, and no surprise, 5-5 in the winners final. That's a final in the making, as Chirillov claiming another win over Jeffrey Zhang, opening up the lead even further. So definitely, it looks like Chirillov early on, if he can keep anything close to this pace, he will absolutely be going to the next round. And Matthias Bluebaum-Havard, still way too early to tell.
Yep. Okay, so we see that Andy switched it up to the Grunfeld, and I was going to say that's a great adjustment, but now he's losing on the board.
Yeah, it's really weird because queen g3, you would assume, always helps you out, but there's rook g2 every time. The rook is actually really well placed for defense.
Andrew winning here, but the knight is so tricky. But there come the pawns. This should be enough time for Andrew.
Yeah, it really should be. I would probably sack for the rook, but he's done it in a way which is so much better. No need to sack.
But why queen e5 and queen c7? Why not queen f8?
Well, queen f8 is it's the move that you want to play, but he's probably already got things pre-moved to a point where queen f8 works if you expect one move, and queen e5, he's like, well, I'm just going to play queen e5, queen c7, no matter what my opponent does. I know that I'm going to mate, and it ends up maybe wasting a bit more time on the clock. Yeah, perhaps you're not too upset.
All right. Okay, we see here Andy up a pawn in 3 seconds, so he's in good shape to tie it up again.
Yeah, I feel like the clock is always the clock is basically like a miniature eval bar when you're looking at Hyperbullet. So I am always checking the clock first before I'm even looking at the position. I don't care what material there is. If I'm looking at the clock and I'm seeing an advantage of multiple seconds, immediately I start preferring that side.
Yep, and now Andy also, he wins on the board, and it's all tied up.
Yeah, there's also a bit of an understanding, and what a match, 6-6. There's a bit of an understanding in Hyperbullet where if you're up on time, let's say your opponent only has a king or maybe opposite bishops, something where you can 100% predict their moves, you know where the pieces are going to go and you know where they can't go. In those situations, if you're up on time, the players will just shuffle because they know that that's a guaranteed win. If I have 2 seconds, you have 1 second, you only have a king, I know exactly what moves you can and can't make. I'll make safe pre-moves and I just will guaranteed win on time. So that's often the strategy. Instead of trying to convert and maybe messing things up, taking too much time, no, just pre-moves at all times and get it done that way on the clock.
Okay, looks like we're going to see our first draw of the match here, and Andrew definitely has to take it given the time. I mean, it's a big escape for him there. I mean, he was down 7 seconds on the clock.
Yep, it really is. We've seen something like this before. It's a really bad opening for White, but somehow he kind of got it working.
Okay, so let's see if Andrew can convert this one into a full point. He's up a pawn with a great position.
Yeah, the pawns are sailing down the board, and this is one where the position basically the position is almost so good that even Andrew Tang was doing well on the clock there. So the position was sort of carrying itself. And now I think he's thinking about f4. Don't think he'll be denied there.
Okay. Andy. Oh, there goes the queen. That's huge. Okay, this should be enough for Andrew to finish it off.
There it is.
But
possibly not ideal to let the king escape like that, but obviously 3 seconds, which we like to call an eternity for a Hyperbullet player.
Yep. Okay. Knight c4. That's a nice move. Yeah, Andy switching back to these old Indian systems.
Yeah, look at the time though, 5 seconds. I really do not like this opening selection for Tang compared to some of the other things he's got. Really clever move though, queen h2, threatening a checkmate on h7 to allow him to save material. But look at the time, 6 seconds. Like, this is basically just a kind of a win for Black, because how could you possibly be accurate enough would be what I'm thinking here.
Oh, but now comes rook c7. Andy dropping a lot of material.
It's not mate though, which is so crucial. 1.7. So this is the thing. I think that Andrew Tang has played an absolutely unbelievable game right there, and it still wasn't enough. That's just what that time advantage is doing for Andy Woodward. It's been there basically every single game.
Yeah, he's just incredibly fast. And again, he's already up 3-4 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, I like the position here for Black. I actually was going to say I kind of like it for Black. Even though White picked off a pawn there, I still like it for Black.
Okay, a5 seems a little slow to me. I like it for black now. I'm with you because black spawns are a little bit more mobile.
Yep. No, this is a really bad position. The white pawns cannot actually move up the board. And yep, this is too easy to convert. Black's not uptime, but yeah, this should be very routine.
Yep, and Tang takes a 1-point lead with 4.5 minutes on the clock. In the meantime, Amon, so I want to point out that the match between Howard, Hauck, and Matthias is pretty close as well.
Yeah,
Oh.
it definitely was. I was gonna say we might need a little update there, as you know, 4 minutes is starting to get pretty low, but Havard pulling away, I think that's a really good result if it holds for Havard. You know, have to be impressed, but 4 minutes is still a ton of time. And I'm also just noticing that Jeffrey Zhang, he was, almost down like 7, 8 points before. Now he's brought it back to 4. So there is still very much a comeback in the making.
Right, and what do you think about this one, Amon? Is this should be enough time for Andrew to hold a draw, right?
So the reason that it's still tricky is that if you move the bishop from b5, black will play b5.
Okay,
And that's
but now you gotta
concerning. Now he's got the draw because he was able to get his king there, but it meant that there was a moment where black could have snuck the move in. So that's why the players were playing on, because there was actually a winning chance there.
Yeah, I mean, even if Andy would have gotten his king all the way around again, then Andrew couldn't pre-move anymore. So it was tricky.
Yep. And what we see here is Jeffrey Zhang continuing to bring that score closer and closer. So it's really crunch time over there. As for this position, this is actually one of the more one-sided games on the board. And when there's games on the board that are one-sided, they have been in Andrew Tang's favor thus far. But if it's one-sided on the clock, I think we've seen it. It's mostly Woodward.
Yep. All right. So let's see. I like Andrew's position here. He's just marching forward with the pawns. I'm sure he can do something with that later.
Yeah, watch out for checkmate. Queen comes up, attack and defense, but 95 right back at you. Well, queen h6. Queen takes f6, and then knight h5 maybe. What the heck is going on here? Look at this position. Tactics everywhere. F7. Huge mistake,
Queen
right?
f6.
Promote and queen e7.
I like that one, yeah. Or it is.
Oh, yeah. No, this is good, though. It's all with checks. Very nice.
Queen f7. Oh, yeah. And he finds it and gets a 3-point lead.
Three is a lot. Right now, I think it's fair to say this is a must-win game because you even draw this game, it doesn't matter. You can start another one. You could win it. It's not enough. So we are in must-win territory in the winner's final here. And that means that with the white pieces, Andy Woodward has to get it done. He's got a great time advantage right now. Position is happy as well. Are we going to see D2? No. Okay,
I don't know how he does it, Amon. Like, we blink and he has a 4-second lead.
Yeah, he really is. He adjusts as well because you have to play pre-moves based on the openings that you and your opponent are playing, and he's adjusting. So, yeah, with the bishops here, I think there's just no way that you don't find success. The bishops are they're going to take everything in sight. Andy Woodward does get it done, and now we're on to an absolutely critical game. I think it's still technically a must-win, right? Because a draw, no good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the meantime, wait, Amon, wasn't Jeffrey like 8 points behind? And now it's all tied up in the match against Churilov.
Yeah, I've been trying to call attention to it, just update as it was happening, because I was like, you got it within 6. Okay, now it's 4. Wait a minute, now it's 2. It's tied. So in the clutch here, Jeffrey Zhang has not just tied it up, but he's winning that game. And that means that he's now just taken the lead, if we saw that correctly. And it looks like he has the chance to close it out with a win right here. Jeffrey Zhang easily would be one of the most impressive comebacks thus far, but it might stand as the most impressive comeback of the event.
Yeah, and he has a nice position here as well. He's managed to crash through on the king side. He's down a few seconds, though.
Mm-hmm. Jeffrey is at least someone who's, he's used to those clutch moments. He's had them in his career, and he's delivering in the clutch right now. He's got enough time. Queen's invading here. He's got nothing to worry about, I think, with the safety of his own king. So queen for bishop. Oh, just a whole extra queen. He might have this.
Yeah, he should have this one in the back. He's just cleaning up right here.
Ooh, yep. Rookie 2. And yep, that will definitely be a win. I'll be shocked if it's not. The match clock is expiring. Tang and Woodward, I think we need to go to that one because it looks like that one now is maybe a 1-point deficit. We have winners in the other matchups. We saw Jeffrey Zhang get it done. Whereas Andrew Tang and Andy Woodward will need to play more. So I guess I wasn't sure if they would start sort of automatically, but perhaps maybe a small pause, right, Bach? Like, why don't we pick a number? Hyperbullet Championship. Let's give them 30 seconds of rest, until things get started. But it's 11-10, I think, was the last that I saw. I don't know if that was up to date, but small lead for Andrew Tang, 11-10. So it means Andy Woodward won those last 2 to 3 games, brought himself back in. But we can say in the losers quarterfinals, Havard Hogg with a dominant performance came in as one of the lowest rated, I think the lowest rated participant. He's beaten Blue Bomb, who's definitely a couple 100 points higher rated. He's on to the losers semifinal. He'll face Jeffrey Zhang, who had easily the comeback of the tournament. I don't know what the official count was, but I think 8 points. So 8 points deficit, Bach, and he comes back to win by 2. Really, really impressive to be able to get that done.
Yeah, impressive stuff there as well. And Aman, one thing I want to point out is that Andy won that final game to take it to overtime, and he won it with 0.1 second on the clock.
Oh my goodness. We didn't know that it was that close. That's incredible. And the format here, you can see it in the bottom right. It could be over before you know it. Like, it looks based on the game here that it actually will be a win for Andy. So yes, it will level it up. But if Andrew Tang had won that game, that's it, right? That would have been 2-point spread right there. But as it stands, they play up to 10 additional games, and you must win by 2. So that was game number 1. There's no timer. There's no 20 minutes ticking down. It's just 10 games. If anyone leads by 2 points at any point during those 10 games, it's over.
Yep. And also, I just did some research. Churilov was leading by 8 points. It was 9.5, 1.5. But then Jeffrey won. Okay, let's see. He first won 4 games in a row, then had a loss to Churilov. And then he won 7 games in a row. I mean, definitely the comeback of the tournament.
That's unbelievable. Yeah, winning 10, 11 games, only losing 1. Very deserved, and he moves on, keeps his spot alive in the event.
Yep, and Andy taking the lead right here, getting himself the match point. If he wins the next one, it's over.
Not because I'm correcting you, but you meant Andrew, right?
Andrew, yes.
I'm not correcting you, but it's like when one is Andy, one's Andrew. I actually want to make sure. So it is Andrew, right, that has the lead right now.
Yep.
Yeah,
but
okay.
He's down a pawn in a few seconds.
Yeah, that was very, very quick. But, okay, this is one where a draw... oh, my goodness. Oh, what a huge blunder. He did not expect... He was assuming the king would keep shuffling because that's what he did on the previous turn. Instead, he brought the queen back, which was a great move, by the way. I don't think there was anything wrong with that. And it did not work out. He pre-moved, assuming a different reply.
Yeah, I like this position for Andrew. I mean, he can start at knight h5 to f6.
Yeah, knight h5 looked crushing there, Bach. I'm with you on that. You can still do it. Bring the queen back and do it again.
Yeah, but that's why Andy went queen e7, preventing that.
And it is 12-12 here. Woodward keeps coming back. Just so impressive. But Andrew Tang, he's feeling the pressure right now. The speed of Woodward. He's basically just shuffling his queen, right?
Yeah. Oh, he hung
is
his
hanging.
queen. He moved it to g5.
Now he's trying to keep up on the clock here. Tang has actually made serious inroads. If he takes that rook, he could take that pawn. He secures the draw.
Yeah, huge save there by Tang.
Bach securing that draw is so important. Just that last pawn, he got it probably with just tenths of a second, just in time.
Yeah, I think Andy perhaps had to slow down just a little bit to make sure that he kept material on the board. But as soon as he hung the rook, I mean, the draw was imminent.
Okay, so pay attention to these opposite bishops here, because speed is the only thing that matters. But Black has the advantage here of having the queens on the board and maybe being able to make some threats. As White, though, I was going to say, I think you want to trade the queens. Oh my god, he blundered mate.
That is a tough loss for Andrew. He had the opportunity to trade the queens off, but he weakened his position a little bit too much. Yeah.
Oh, that's so unfortunate, because the pattern was sort of that Andrew kept winning those games when he needed to give himself the edge. For the first time, I think Andrew is facing elimination. He's got a phenomenal attack here that he can build up. Black is going to sacrifice because he's almost dead lost.
Yeah, I think Andy made the right decision to sacrifice there, but he's moved h6.
H6. Oh, yeah, H6 was a really important move. Black is still fighting in this game. I know it's dead loss. It looks bad, but you are still alive.
Yeah, he's controlling the... Oh... Wait.
He just blundered so much material, Bach. But he gets it back.
Yeah, but is this enough time to win it?
Rook F6. I would take the knight. If you can take that knight, you get it done. Oh my goodness, the draw. He has checkmate ideas. He could have sacked for the knight, but anyway, he was never going to lose that. But still, Andy Woodward, he only needs one more game, one more win to get this done.
Yep. Okay, let's see. Maybe knight e4. Okay, takes on c4. Still looks more pleasant for White with the bishop pair.
Agree. Yeah, you can plant that bishop on d5, although he might not have expected knight to a5. That's a good pawn to pick up for Andrew Tang, who's down a little bit on the clock right now. And, oh, bishop e3 hits him with a tactic and gets bishop d4. That's very good for the position.
Yeah, indeed. And he gets the bishops off as well. He picks up a third pawn.
Yeah, he's just collecting pawns here.
Okay. Oh.
That's a mistake. And now... Oh, checkmate is in. What a battle from these guys. So look at the top right of the screen to keep track, right? We are on overtime game 8 right now. So if there's still no winner, we're going to sudden death. But we'll wait and see. We got this game, and then we've got 2 more. Still more than an opportunity. And what a blunder. Queen d5. That was a slip for queen d6, right?
Or queen d4, but what a terrible mouse slip.
Yeah, this should be game over. I mean, you can't mess up opportunities like that. You're gifted a queen. You got to say thank you very much and take it.
Yeah. What a tough loss for Andrew. I mean, he was winning on the board.
Yeah, back to this opening. I mean, we're just seeing such a close matchup here. Overtime game number 9. Andy Woodward, another chance to close it out. But they've both had chances to close it out. And both of them have won on demand when it matters.
But he just hung his knight. Just knight b4. Great find by Andrew, and it's going to be tied again. Oh.
Yeah, all of the minor pieces. Yeah, it's just... What can we expect, Bach? We're here for the long haul. 15-15. There's going to be one more game. And the thing about this overtime, Bach, which is what I was just confirming with our producers, is the best of 2 no longer stands for this. Like, the best of 2 is for the regular format, but we're already looking to break a tie right now. So you no longer need to win by 2, whoever's leading. So that means, and I wonder if the players are also keenly aware of this, but this is a winner-take-all game and a draw would send us to sudden death. But that's it.
And Andy just resigns. I wonder if he was aware of that, because that's it, right?
Isn't that it?
I think so, but
We were on game number 10, weren't we, before? Yeah. So that the game's aborted. That was game number 10. And that will be a little bit of, I mean, look, we're going to see both of these players continue on in this event. So this isn't eliminated from the event for either player, but a cold shower, I think, because the match was so close and it gets decided just like that. I think the resignation probably has to indicate, Bach, if we're being honest, that he wasn't totally aware of what he was doing, because you would never resign the game if it meant the loss of the match.
absolutely. Yeah. That being said, to be fair, he was completely losing on the board and he was down a few seconds. So, Andrew Tang wins this match, secures his match in a grand finale, but Andy Woodward still has a great chance. Wait, okay.
Yeah,
but Andy Woodward still has a great chance.
Let's take a look at the bracket
fight
then,
back.
because that will basically validate what we're talking about here. As you can see, the grand final has Andrew Tang slotted in all the way on the right side of the screen, which means that Andy Woodward drops down to the losers final, and he awaits who is going to win between Havard and Jeffrey. That matchup is now the only one in progress. Andy waits for the winner, and then Andrew Tang waits for the winner of that. In all likelihood, we could have Andy Woodward yet again facing off against Andrew Tang. I think coming into this event, Bach, it felt like that was exactly what we expected.
Yeah, no, indeed, that's the expected winners final and also the expected grand final. So quite likely that we'll get a repeat. But Amon, a big surprise of the event, in my opinion, is Harvard Hawk. I did not expect him to make it this far.
No, and we're going to have a chance to focus now as we're about to begin the losers semifinal. We're finally going to get to dive in and really see Havard in action here against Jeffrey Zhang as the match is underway. And yeah, you mentioned a phenomenal performance thus far, and a win here will bring him back to a matchup against Andy Woodward, which, am I saying it correct that they faced off in the very first round? I think that they did. So it would be a rematch, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, Jeffrey crushing here. He's opening up some lines on the king side. This is generally not something you can defend in Hyperbullet. Wait.
No, Bishop A1 almost feels like that wasn't intentional.
He still has a nice advantage, but, Harvard is still alive, because with the two rooks on the board, I'm pretty sure Black would get checkmated.
Yeah, so this going into opposite bishops here, it's just different from normal chess, because I would say that this is a guaranteed win for White, whereas maybe you could have drawn if it was a real game there. But yeah, this is a guaranteed win for White on the clock, and he happened to get it done on the board as well.
Yep, so Jeffrey taking the lead. This match also is 20 minutes. So let's see how Harvard will try to strike back.
Yeah, it seems actually that I'm now noticing an opening that Jeffrey Zhang is repeating with both colors, right? So he's playing this A6, B5, C5 setup, and he did this with the white pieces as well. So that's his go-to Hyperbullet opening, it looks like.
Yeah, I wonder why that's his pet opening in Hyperbullet. I mean, it looks like White should... Oh, that's a checkmate.
Oh, that's
but
me.
Looks like White should always be able to get an advantage.
Yep. And here we go. B4 he starts with. And these are the positions that I think we saw more in Jeffrey's previous matchup earlier on in the event. Just having B4 get met by A5. Because you start to adjust as a player. You see B4 the first time, you probably play your normal opening. It could catch you off guard. But as soon as you know the guy's going to play B4, you might start responding with something that's particularly good against that opening. That's a free queen.
Yep, and that's going to be a lead for Jeffrey.
I haven't seen too many resignations. I'm not saying I disagree with it. There were tons and tons of stuff on the... Oh, wait a minute. I have to call out. Did he play A4 because he was expecting B5?
Yep.
Because A4 is a funny first move. He thought he was outsmarting him, but then Jeffrey played a different opening and outsmarted Havard, I think.
Exactly. Yeah, but also in the previous game, we saw Jeffrey opening with b4 and Havard responding with a5. So maybe Jeffrey already saw it coming.
Yeah, exactly. He knew it was possible.
Okay, so Jeffrey up a pawn, but not anymore, but up a few seconds.
Short-lived there. Ooh, got to be so careful. F3 and rook b1 wins everything in the position.
That is nasty, but still not. I mean, this has to be a win for black.
It's hey, Bach, there's a table-based draw here. What are you talking about? Look at that recovery.
What happened? That should have been an easy win.
Yeah, that's a big error, but you know what? How you win it is a question for me, because I genuinely look at that position and think, wow, I could see myself not converting because I'm so nervous about stalemate that you lose time on the clock and then you panic and, oh, queen a5, that's a big mouse slip. Havard resigning again. Buck, we saw it happen once before. I know those are pretty big moments, but would you resign?
I mean, I'm not a Hyperbullet specialist. I think I would press the resign button, but it's probably not the correct call.
Right. Yeah. I should have never asked such a classy professional like yourself, Bach.
But would you resign? You are the Hyperbullet specialist.
I don't think I would resign. Basically, I think he set a bad example by resigning the first time, because then resigning the second time makes more sense. I don't think I would have resigned the first time, and my choice to resign the second time would have been based on how well he converted. Because if you're playing down a queen and your opponent gives no counterplay, crushes you on the clock and the board, it's pretty depressing. So I'm not sure I would want to relive that.
Jeffrey was completely winning earlier, but he's let it slip. But still, I think he's going to get it done. It's so easy to...
Oh, G5. He snuck it past. Oh, but what's that move?
I have no idea, and this is going to be a win for Jeffrey.
Checkmate. 15 minutes on the match clock. And Havard hasn't... I would say so far, the match... for me, Bach, has gone in Jeffrey's favor, because it feels like we're playing Jeffrey's positions. Like he's dictating what the opening looks like. These are common positions, common tactics for him. Let's see.
Bishop takes f1 was a pretty easy tactic, but wait now. No. Here's the thing: in SEC, you can milk the clock, but here it's no increment, so you can't.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Keep that going. And hey, we're back to the abnormal b5, g5. This is a crazy position. On that previous turn, I might have played c5 there for white to really lock the pieces in. Jeffrey is playing very loose. I think we can say that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. He's throwing everything on the king side, and it seems to be working out right now.
It's pretty impressive. Yeah. And there you go. I was going to say he's probably going to take on c5, but Jeffrey has I feel like a pretty decent position considering what I saw from the opening there.
Yeah, he's down a little bit on time. I think that's really Harvard's specialty. He's just so fast.
Okay, a big advantage for white here. He may consider throwing in h4. Yeah, he does. Yep. That's a very classic move. Yeah, black should try e5, but it's insufficient. And I think that's where you see Havard's skills. He has the ability to compete over the board, but when you give him a position that you almost expect to win in hyper like that, he really just doesn't make any mistakes. It's almost like converting with extra material in chess.
Absolutely, yeah. All right, so let's see. Jeffrey having a nice advantage here, getting the positions he wants.
Yeah, I agree, Bach. I've been mentioning this throughout. I don't like these positions for Havard. Every time I see them, he's got this weak D pawn. It's exactly what Jeffrey's hoping for from the opening. I think Havard needs to stop allowing this, or this match could be in big trouble.
Yeah. All right. So let's see how Jeffrey will convert in bishop e7. Excellent move.
Surgical.
Yep.
Yeah, very nice. Can almost get some checkmates here.
Not okay, there goes the knight. Now it's kind of over.
Yeah, you watch out for stalemate, king h5, but he's going to force him to take the bishop and deliver the mate.
Yeah, and Jeffrey takes a 3-point lead. Let's see. We're not halfway yet, but Harvard's going to have to, close that gap a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. 6-3 with, 11, 12 minutes. I wouldn't be concerned, especially with how much things sway back and forth. But if there's one thing that, we're maybe setting ourselves up for, it's Jeffrey having a lead and suddenly needing to protect it, which is not something that we're used to, because he made the huge comeback in the previous match. Now the tables have turned.
Yes, and Harvard is fighting back here. He's winning in this rook endgame as king. You're not stopping the pawn.
Look at the
H7
time.
and the check is coming.
Wow. Did he resign?
Yeah, I mean, H7 and then rook C8 is coming, and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, still, I feel like these guys are, they're too much gentlemanly behavior, Bach. I'm just shocked that we've seen 3 resignations in the losers semifinal of the Hyperbullet Championship. It feels like a time control where you never know what could happen, even at this level.
Yep. Oh, bishop G3. I like that move from a practical perspective.
Yeah.
And it's working out great.
It is. As white, you're dying to play the move D5. Just please let me create some threats on G7, but it's not going to happen. Rook F2.
Okay, let's see. Jeffrey up a lot on the clock.
Yep, he's got a fortress here. He's going to hide. There's D5. We knew it. Now, can the knight trade for the pawn? Because as black, you are going to look to never play H4. It's a huge mistake to allow that pawn to get captured, and that's exactly what he manages to do.
Yep. Okay, Jeffrey picks up the speed just in time.
Ooh, a little pickpocket there. Knight takes E4 and right back.
Jeffrey recapturing with the G pawn. That's interesting.
Yeah, he's one thing I've noticed about Jeffrey is whether or not it's his actual style normally, it's his style in Hyper to be extremely aggressive in terms of attacking. He just wanted the open G file. There's nothing more to it.
Yep. Okay, Harvard having a great endgame here. At any moment now, he can start pushing that H pawn.
Yep. Oh, queen takes C7. Was that not a move? Yeah, because the H pawn was just going to win. I thought he could have traded everything there.
Okay, Jeffrey has the draw in his pocket here. I think he will take it.
He will take it. White is going to try to avoid it because you can make some moves before you allow it for sure. But yeah, now it's a guaranteed thing. Up by 3. 9 minutes remaining. Still nothing to be concerned about. But one adjustment that I've seen from Havard, D-pawn, not on D5. Slightly better, but still, I find the positions that Jeffrey's getting are so comfortable. It's exactly what you want.
Yep, I think Harvard needs to stop allowing Jeffrey to take an F6 and give him the double pawns.
Yep, I agree completely, and I think it's a big mistake. Look how much pressure you have. Like, as white, you can just kind of shuffle. There's no pressure to do. Look at this. Like, position is completely tied up.
Yep, okay, take on these. Oh, he could have taken F2, but he missed it.
That's true. He probably, I mean, he was just getting crushed the whole game. He wouldn't even assume that he could do that. And now, at the very least, I was going to say a queen trade, but it looks like he's done better than that.
But Jeffrey's got 3 seconds. It's not over yet.
Maybe a draw. He was hoping for a draw there. Black's gone for the win. He's seizing his opportunity.
That's a huge throw by Jeffrey.
It is. Yeah, I didn't realize that the time was so low. As white, I would almost trade the queens there. Jeffrey wanted a checkmate. It didn't exist. And then all of a sudden, Havard made a great call because a draw would be a great result there. But he realized, look, I'm behind in this match. I'm not getting a lot of opportunities. This is one of them. So let me take it and go for the flag, even if I'm taking a lot of risk as well.
Yep, and it paid off. Now it's back to 2. Jeffrey outplaying him on the board once again as he's winning a piece here.
Yep. No, that will be trouble, and the G file from Jeffrey will get used here. Not liking the outlook here for white. Also down on the clock, and lots of trades incoming.
Yeah, okay, and that's
Nice
checkmate.
pattern.
So, yeah.
You can trade the queens, if nothing else. That's pretty solid because you have the advantage on the clock to help out, and that's now added to the lead. And are we going to see bishop f6? Yes, we are. I mean, just not a position that I think you should be that excited to get, but probably his best one so far.
He is, but I don't like that decision at all to trade the bishop for the knight on e2. And now the pawn on d5 is weak. a5 drops.
One way or another, Bach, we just see time and time again a bad position out of the opening. It's not one that I like.
No, okay. Knight c5 and pinning. You have to take that, I was going to say.
No, this is a big problem. h4. White wants to play h4 here. I think he should do it now. Tricky. I think that was well played by black. I underestimated king g4.
Jeffrey slowing down way too much. However,
he's in
is
trouble.
going to win this one.
Yeah, he's just lost. I'm impressed. Not only did he win the game, but like he was down a pawn in a rook end game. Everything was bad about that to start, which makes the recovery so much more impressive.
Yep, and it feels like Jeffrey, he's winning a piece right now.
Yeah, tactic here, knight d5. I was going to say, I almost want to take on d6, take on f8, lose material rather than just drop a piece. Oh, that's the most one-sided game of the match, I think. Right when Hawk was bringing it back, it looks like Jeffrey said, no, 9.5, 6.5. You start to look at the time here a little bit more, Bach. Now you're thinking 5 minutes left, deficit of 3. Imagine you lose, deficit of 4. It might just be too much.
Yep. But I feel like every time it feels like Jeffrey is going to take control, Havard fights right back and gets it back to 2. So let's see what he can do here. I like his position with black.
Oh, I really like it. Yeah, he should be playing this a little bit faster, more confidently. White wants to play h4, g3, king g2, and he's getting exactly what he wants. Look at the last 10 moves. Oh, rook f5. It's just been downhill for Havard. He had a great position, but he didn't do anything with it.
Yep. All right, Jeffrey now looking to close it out. He's up on time. He's up.
Rook e7. Yeah, and he's now got the lead on the clock, which he didn't even have before. It's ballooned, and I think right now, this is the moment. We almost have to call this a must-win after that poor result there. With the white pieces, Havard, you lose this game, you're down 11.5, 6.5. I think it's mathematically out of reach.
Yep. All right, so let's see what he can do. This position looks a little bit better for Jeffrey. Probably a draw, and perhaps Jeffrey steering.
Yeah, I don't like this for Havard. You can only lose.
Right. Okay, probably a draw here, though.
What is that move? Just g3. I'm shocked that black didn't take. Oh my god,
now
is white gonna win?
Jeffrey is losing. Yep.
This is unbelievable. King f4. Take on f6 and then take e6. Force the king away. I can't believe it, but this is a win. Watch out for the pre-move. Ooh, I thought he was gonna go king a1.
But perhaps Havard knew.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He could. This is a routine win, even with 3 seconds. There's no doubt in my mind. Nicely done. Massive throw, Bach. I think we can agree. Jeffrey not converting that endgame and playing it the way he did is so shocking. It felt like he could have drawn at will, won the game, and he ended up losing. And Havard is in this thing with less than 3 minutes remaining. The deficit is 3, but I think we're still in must-win territory.
Yep, and he's given himself a nice position to win again, as Jeffrey has got quite a few weaknesses.
Yeah, watch out for g5 now. Oh no, everything's pinned. King d1, only attempt, but you just move that rook away.
Yeah, and it's going to be back to 2 as Harvard's also up an enormous amount of time.
Yep. Yeah, this is 100% a win. He's just bringing the pieces back to civilization there. Yeah, nice try. Rook takes h5, trying to pick off a piece while they're pre-moving. He happened to not be pre-moving that moment. And yeah, he knows how to get that checkmate done. 10.5, 8.5, 2 minutes. I won't say that we're in must-win territory. I think you could probably draw and get another game, but we're in no-lose territory.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. They're repeating the same opening where they went into that pawn game where Jeffrey was winning at first, and then it was a draw. So I like Black here, though, as he has the more active g5.
Is he going to do it again, though, Jeffrey? Is he going to find a way to lose a position that looks unlosable?
He finds g6 as indicated by
this is
the
a
blue
big
arrow.
problem. So white should have played h5 on the previous turn before g6, and then you have some breakthrough ideas. Here you have absolutely nothing on the king's side. This is the worst possible result for Havard. No, this is a really big problem now.
Yeah, this is a win for Jeffrey. That's huge for the match. You can maybe still try a Rosen trap, but that's it. Oh.
No.
Oh
my goodness! What a move! King g8. It's so funny because you called out a trap and he went for something different. What a bad pre-move. The match could have been over right there, but a new one starts and new life for Havard. I'm calling it, Bach. That result right there into a comeback from Havard, it might even be more impressive than Jeffrey's comeback previous.
Yep. And Jeffrey is okay. I don't like allowing the queen trade now.
Look at the time. You got 5 seconds up. You have a win condition. This is not that bad.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, the knight's going to be tricky. There's going to be some checks.
B8.
Ooh, B8 is such a good move with knight D7. Good call. And that, you can just sack the rook for the pawn. Good call. That's a big tactic. He needed that because look at the time. Right? It's like 10 seconds between them. But he gets it done. And that is a win for Jeffrey Zhang. He wants to retain the title of the best comeback in the event, not relinquishing it to Havard. But that was close, right, Bach? Queen H4, stalemate. That was a really, really cool idea.
Yeah, so great win by Jeffrey. Havard fought... I mean, he fought hard, but it wasn't enough. I mean, it felt like every time Jeffrey was going to take control of this match, Havard fought back. But in the end, Jeffrey gets it done.
Yeah, exactly right. And that sets the stage now. The loser's semifinal, Jeffrey Zhang, your winner, 12-9 final score, eclipsing that 2-point margin. And Andy Woodward is taking on Jeffrey Zhang in the loser's final. This should be a very interesting matchup, but we can't sugarcoat it. Andy Woodward is a clear favorite coming into this, and he'll be looking to set up that rematch in the grand final against Andrew Tang. So Andy Woodward against Jeffrey Zhang is the match that's upcoming. Of course, we'll be able to dedicate our full attention to that match, Bach, before we get our grand final. And the players are going to get a short break here. We're going to take one as well, but first, a word about the new Advanced Stats feature. That's right, it's now live for all Chess.com Diamond members. You can finally review every brilliant move that you have ever played. That's right, for some of you, nothing will have changed. Sorry. But you also get deep rating breakdowns for your openings, tactics, strategy, endgames. Go.chess.com/advanced stats or hit !stats in the chat. I checked how many I have. If you have more than, 6,500, let me know, because then you beat me. We're going to a break. Hyperbullet finals coming up after this.
We want you to show us a chess trap on the board that not everybody knows.
Okay.
There's not many that people don't really know.
First one that comes to mind is from my childhood. It's in e4, e5, but I hope I remember the correct moves. So white plays knight f3, knight c6. and black plays something like this, d6 after the Italian game, knight c3, and I hope not everyone knows this. And now black can play this move bishop g4 and h3, and black goes here, and this is actually a big mistake going back at the bishop here, because now white has this beautiful shot knight takes e5, and well, it looks like white is just losing the queen, right? But not so fast, because then white comes in with the bishop, gives a check on f7, black king is forced upward, and white plays this beautiful knight d5 checkmate, and this is called Legal's mate. And I remember as a kid this left a big impression on me, so yeah. I mean, you have to have your opponent go bishop g4, but I think at the lower levels this is very common. Yep. The bishop is pinning the knight, and if not for this it wouldn't be that bad, but yeah, there's this little tactic, and it's really nice. Also, if we go back to this position, pawn is on f7, you would wonder like what happens, can black not at least take the knight here, but then white comes in with the queen. Seems like the bishop is hanging, but now the second part of the tactic is shown. Suddenly there's this check here, and white picks up the knight and only wins a pawn here, but still pretty good out of the opening, I think.
Rook and games. My feeling tells me it's lost for white after king d4 check. So yeah, I'm gonna go with like big minus in the sense that it's lost. It's actually minus 0.13. So after white's next move. After king d4. Yes, after king d4, white has one move to save the position. Probably king e6, d5 and rook c1. I guess those are both only moves, and then correct, you will make the draw. Very good, okay. I mean, I'm trying to find a way to defend against like just bishop h f4 and king running in. I was thinking about c4, but I don't see how that's enough, so I need to find something else. Oh, sorry. I missed that one, yeah. That's a fair point. With the rook, the task would be much easier. So you mentioned black's plan is to play... Right, so my problem is black will play bishop f4, put king on g2, and then I will have Zugzwang. So I will have bishop on e1, king on e2, and then no move because of the bishop f2, bishop d2. So how to avoid that? I mean, I can put my king to f1, but I don't think that's enough, because I will probably still end up in some Zugzwang. But of course I can try, but that will also be... Oh, I guess that's not the type of solution positions like these look for. So I mean, I'm eyeing this c4 move all the time, but yeah, I don't really see it working yet, I have to admit. I would love to get my bishop around, but that also doesn't work. I mean, it's only so few pieces, yeah, it shouldn't be that hard, but yeah, I mean, it feels like something will go wrong. It's just yeah, you're correct. It's not king e2. Maybe I have to put my bishop on that side, yeah, bishop c1, and then just wait with bishop a3 b2, yeah? Correct. Wow, that is quite clever, right? You quite just avoid interesting, the whole... but if you like, usually basically you kill your own bishop, but exactly there it at least has one move that is not a lot, but it's enough to save the game, yeah.
Welcome back, everyone. We have the losers final of the Hyperbullet Chess Championship upcoming in Bach. It is an all-American matchup in this one. It looks like Well, what does that say about the Americans? They're the best 30-second players. Is that really a title you think that everyone's fighting for, Bach?
Yeah, absolutely. Seems like they are the best at moving the mouse at the speed of light. As here we see the losers final. We have Andy against Jeffrey. Andy, it has to be said, he has to be a huge favorite in this one.
Yep. There's no other way to say it. Based on what we've seen thus far, I always want to go back to my point that Jeffrey is so easy to underestimate. But going into this, once again, you probably have to underestimate him because Andy Woodward is the favorite, and we have the match underway already. The players can't wait to get into this one. The format is, of course, that standard 20-minute match clock ticking down. So let's wait and see who Andrew Tang is going to be up against, because I think if you're Andrew Tang, you probably know that everyone here is a strong player, but Jeffrey Zhang is maybe the preferable opponent based on how close that last match was.
Okay, some strange developments there. Jeffrey pushed his pawn to h4, which could have been captured, but Andy missed it.
Yeah, it was an unusual miss because I thought he put that rook on e4 for that reason. And right out of the gate, I think we're starting to see that the speed, and yeah, c3, throwing that move in, very clever because, I mean, look at the speed. It's not close.
9 seconds is a huge difference, and it's going to be interesting to see if Jeffrey can adjust to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like because we've now seen so many Jeffrey Zhang matchups, we're so used to this opening, this position, how everything looks here. It's almost feels like theory.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this looks nice for black, though, as white's position is very loose.
Yeah, checkmate is there. D2's hanging. Probably see f5 taken. Ooh.
Okay.
That's a nice move. I'm surprised he didn't trade the queens there. Chess-wise, that's not a good move, but I mean, this does not look very appetizing.
Yeah, okay, Andy crushing, taking a 2-0 lead.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. Oh, bishop takes f3, and that wasn't really a dirty move. That was the move that we've actually seen Jeffrey Zhang play throughout these openings, but he expected it to be recaptured.
Right, I feel like if you go bishop takes f3, you gotta just wait for a little bit before making your next move.
I hear you. I hear you. King g2, anyone? Yeah, rook h1. I don't know how you stop this mate. You gotta go bishop g7, move your king. But he's getting hit with every single move now. Really nice.
Jeffrey stays in this, though. It's not...
rook e7 was missed. He plays it. It's still good movement. Oh, that's going to be mate. Nicely done.
Yeah, Andy is crushing on the board and on the clock. Not easy for Jeffrey to put up with this.
Ooh, knight g4. That's not a move that he did in error. I think it was because he was hoping to open the h-file. But, Bach, I haven't seen that into castling very often. They don't really go hand in hand, looking to sack your knight for the attack, and then, I'll call it off. I'm just going to castle.
Yep. Okay, things looking good for Jeffrey. He's up a pawn, although Andy's got that a pawn.
Wait, hang on a second.
More time.
I don't know about this. So he's playing d5. He's trying to disconnect.
B8.
Queen b8 was a nice tactic. Really nice. It was missed there.
This is going to be an easy win for Andy as the time difference is just way too big.
Yeah, it's time difference and then also speed. So he could be up 2 seconds, but once it gets into raw pre-move speed, and there's a little bit of skill involved as well, bishop takes f6 and bishop takes b7. That's a tricky move, and it's, again, just a good move to include. That wasn't a dirty move at all. That was just a really good move that black missed.
Absolutely. Yep, it's 5-0 now for Andy. Really tough for Jeffrey at this point. He needs to get a few wins on the scoreboard to give himself a chance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, completely agree. this is why I was saying earlier, sometimes you just get those results that makes you question everything. Like, how could such a strong player be down 4-0? There's another strong player, and this is an unforgiving time format where, yes, you will see discrepancies like that.
Yep. If your opponent's faster, he's better. You can just easily lose every single game, and that's happening right here.
Ooh, that's a mistake right there. Black is back in this game. I'm so impressed because the position looked completely dead earlier.
But look at the time. He wins with 8 extra seconds on the clock.
Yeah, it's becoming like, just watch the clock here, and even though it looks like they're both playing pretty quickly, I'd be curious to see, let's revisit in about 10 seconds. What does it look like in terms of the position and then the clock as well? And yeah, look at this, both 4 seconds, 4 seconds already.
Yeah, which is okay. That's a blunder by Andy, but
It is.
generally what's
Nice
so
move.
impressive about him is that good moves and speed are coming constantly. He's never slowing down. Jeffrey slows down from time to time, but Andy is just constant speed.
He's going to take that pawn, even though Black has the extra piece. Ooh, look at this. This is his best game so far. Jeffrey, in a way. He needs to trade that rook. Oh my goodness, the bishop is hanging. You can lose as Black. That's the scary thing. He grabs this. This 100% needs to be a victory. And it is. Jeffrey Zhang is on the board, 6-1. Now, I'm not saying that it's really realistic, but I am going to say, despite the fact we're up against Andy Woodward and it seems so impossible, Bach, we are dealing with the only guy that has made a significant comeback today of a margin of 8 points.
Yep, but he's in a tough position again. So let's see. Andy crushing once again on the board.
Yeah, you just take that, though. You do have to watch out for, maybe rook e1, rook d1, and trying to get some mate threats, but it's just not realistic.
The accuracy by Andy is just ridiculous, right? How he finds some of the best moves in just a second or even half a second.
Oh. Queen e5.
Just
not as bad. He also finds some bad moves in half a second as well. You have to watch out for h4. Yeah, that's impressive. I gotta give it to Jeffrey on that one. To snipe bishop e3, bishop takes g1, and take the pawns on the other side. Very impressed.
All right, so let's see. Andy taking a slight lead on the clock once again.
e5 looks really good. Yep, and both players knew that knight d6 move was coming. There's nothing that you could do about it. And yeah, he's actually just going to resign, is Jeffrey, not liking the look of that position. 7.5 to 1.5. As we're coming up to the midway point here. And if it's anything like the first half, the second half of this match is going to be brutal for Jeffrey.
Talking about brutal, Andy is already winning. He's up a piece with a good position.
Oh, man. Bishop a3, that's a nice move, but, the fact remains you're down material.
Yeah, Jeffrey fighting back, though. It's not over yet.
The pawn on h4 actually generates a lot of nice threats in there. We'll see knight e4, probably rook check, and knight f2. And there you see the pieces coordinating for a beautiful checkmate pattern.
We just have to wait for Jeffrey to be down 9.5, 1.5, and then he's gonna pull off his 11-1 comeback.
So you've got a win here for Andy, and then we'll have maybe 11 wins in a row for Jeffrey. I think that's usually how he gets it done.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's losing this game, but it's all according to the script. Nothing.
That's right.
Wrong going on here.
Knight f6, normal. Got to lose this game. And now, let's see, Bach. The prophecy.
Oh, that's already one game.
There you go. You see? Look at that. Great start.
All according to plan.
Yep. This is definitely a position you expect to win. I don't like how long he took on rook f4. Don't know that it was worth it, but
He's winning, but he's down 5 seconds on the clock, which makes me a bit concerned.
yeah, always it seems. Queen a5, just these needling moves, hitting material. Oh, it's so annoying.
Yeah. He's down to 6 seconds.
It's crazy. Look at the time.
I don't think, no, he's not getting it done. Oh, no, it's too much.
Yeah, 2 seconds though. I mean, yeah, you're just a favorite to lose here. Yeah, because as black, you can start just taking pieces because you know the guy has to pre-move.
That is a tough loss for Jeffrey. I mean, he was up a piece from move number 2, but doesn't get it done.
Yep, I'm not liking the outlook here for Jeffrey because that was the type of game that if you're mounting a comeback, that's the gift. You know, right out of the opening, get a piece, but he's getting beat on the clock every single time, and it's not something that he can recover from. And interestingly enough, now that he's actually up on the clock, he's down on the board. So, and I've been in this position so many times, you feel like you just can't keep up because when you are up on the clock, somehow there goes your position.
Yep, and his position is collapsing. I mean, in terms of, the pawns are just too strong.
Mm-hmm. There they go. Yeah, he's going for bishop takes f2 with a check, which is pretty smart, actually. Ooh, now you go on light squares, and that's an easy win for white. And Andy, 11.5 to 1.5. This is the dominance that we do expect from someone as strong and, prolific at this time control as Andy is.
Yep. Where is that queen going? Okay, it still has a few squares available.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and I think bishop b4. Yeah, hey, it's a sacrifice. Why not? It's Hyperbullet. You don't need to calculate everything. You're also up 10 points. I'm actually starting to wonder how many games has he won in a row here.
It's a lot. It's a lot that I can say. Oh wow. Yeah, this looks crushing.
He's not even blinking when he's playing these tactics. Bishop f5, rook d1.
Rook d8, rook d8. What?
Oh my goodness. Wait, what?
What?
Black didn't even take it. Okay, eventually he does. That was some kind of mouse slip, I guess, for queen takes queen. I don't know. Rook d8 was there.
Yeah, that's quite a shocker. So yeah, it looks like it's over. I mean,
rook a2. He's
by Andy.
I was gonna say at this point, okay, Bach, how about this? Do you think that we would have seen that sportsmanship if it was 9-9?
Nope. You just take that rook. Nope.
Yep. Scoop up that rook. Say thank you on the way out. Don't let the door hit you. Appreciate that one.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Andy doing well in this. Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Yeah. The most annoying thing is like the second you decide to do something, the guy's right there with the exact counter. And it's only when you decide to do it, not before.
Okay, a draw here. Andy was actually down a lot of time on the clock, so right call. But yeah, I mean, right now it's out of mathematical reach, so it looks like Andy is going to move on to the final.
Yeah.
So perhaps we can talk a little bit about that. I mean, it was a very close encounter in the winners final earlier against Andrew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely was. And it's so easy to, I find myself watching this match and thinking, oh my goodness, whoever Andy plays next, he's going to absolutely dominate. And then we have to remember he got beat in this format, but it was by a single game. So it's very clear that the two best players in this format, certainly in this event, are Andy Woodward and Andrew Tang. And the matchup is just inevitable. It was a 1-point victory last time. We went to overtime, to tie breaks, and I'm curious if we're going to need to see it again. Remember, double elimination means they will also see a potential reset if Andy Woodward can win in that first matchup against Andrew Tang.
Yep. And I wanted to ask you, Amon. So, since we are looking at a rematch of the winners' final, what adjustments do you think both players will make?
Yeah, the only person that I think really has time to make any adjustments is Andrew Tang, because if you're Woodward, you really don't have any moment to really catch your breath, which can be a good thing in Hyper. You just stick with what's working for you. But Andrew Tang, on the other hand, he's probably watching this match. He's seeing Andy's time. He could be telling himself, look, I was really good over the board in those games. Pick up the pace a little bit. Trust myself to maybe go for a few more pre-moves in the opening, because Andy maybe always plays the same thing. He's not going to get me on like a dirty move. I don't think we've seen that from him. Some other players have, but not him. So you can sort of tailor it to the opponent and say, well, I am going to play a little faster in the opening. Trust myself to do that, whereas I might not do that against someone else.
Yep. All right. And for, yeah. Okay, so let's see. So Andy is winning this one as well.
Yeah, we're looking at a 15-2 score line, and it's just ballooned. As the king goes on light squares, that's all you're going to need. Yeah, dropped some material here, but I would still trust Woodward to get it done. Yeah. I mean, he just understands those time scrambles so much.
Yep. All right. Okay, so let's see.
Okay, 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining, which is not really anything the players have to pay attention to. It's more for everyone watching to know how long we have before we really get set up for our grand final between Andrew and Andy.
Yep, I think that's what most of us had expected going into this event. They're really the two best players in this event by quite a margin.
Ooh, is this mate?
I don't think so.
So Queen F7? No. Yeah, Queen F7, there wasn't actually any checkmate. I don't see one here either. He's going for the win, though. Queen G5 says that he wants to win this. Ooh, he might be regretting that. Let's see if Black can do it. He does win it. Oh, man. So impressive.
Very clever to hide with that king on a6.
Yeah, really nicely done. Look, when you're up 16-2 before that game, you can take those risks. It's all just for fun, but just cool to see it in action. We'll get probably a couple more games here, maybe 2 or 3, and then we'll be on to the grand final. But domination doesn't even do it justice for what we're seeing right here, Bach.
Yep. And I was wondering, Amon, if you're Andrew Tang right now, what do you do to prepare for the final? Do you just relax? Or do you play a few hyper games in between to stay in the rhythm?
I wish that I could play some hyper games in between. I feel like that would be very good. But I don't know that I don't feel very good about playing games that aren't part of the tournament during the tournament. There's something about that just feels incorrect. So I don't think I would, but the reality is I wish I was still playing in the tournament. I wouldn't appreciate a long break from my last match to my upcoming match. I think in Hyper, Woodward is much more warmed up. And just for me, I would be more annoyed by, having to wait.
Yep. And actually, I just checked Andrew's profile. He is taking a break. He's with you there. It also for Andrew, it's probably not that easy to find an opponent, right? Because he's so high rated.
Let me know, Bach. I'll jump off the show and go give a few warm up games to Mr. Tang there. Yeah, just give me the heads up, buddy. I'll jump in.
Okay, we're looking at the final game probably of this match.
Yep, I think so. And it's 17.5 to 3.5, which I think is going to be our, yeah, it will be our most one-sided score line, just pure score.
Jeffrey is winning here, so let's hope for him that he finishes this match on a win, because it's been a tough match, and so it's always nice to finish on a high note.
Ooh, nice one. Rook D1, there's pins everywhere, and he will get a win there. He actually did resign before the match clock expired, so we will get one more game, but this will officially be the last one. 17.5, 4.5, and yeah, maybe a few wins at the end, which you can feel good about ending on.
Yeah, maybe Andy just wanted to get a little bit more practice, and that's why he pressed resign just to get one more game in.
Yep. Looking pretty good here for Jeffrey, who naturally, you can't even read into this at all. This is Woodward, to be honest, really just not caring about the result because he's already got it locked up.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to trade.
He kind of missed a knockout punch earlier, and now I feel like Andy's going to take it on the clock.
Oh, that trade really helps, and this is a definite win for Andy Woodward, who ends his dominant performance, his emphatic victory, with another win at the very end. And what was that final score? 18.5 to 4.5, I think. So it will be a win for Andy Woodward. I think after he started pulling away, I think once he passed, the 8-point margin, we knew that it was over. It's like Jeffrey can come back from 8 points, but not more than that. So 18.5, 4.5. The grand final is set. That is Andrew Tang. That is Andy Woodward. Bach, we've seen the match before. Andrew Tang has been on the sidelines waiting to see if it would be the rematch. We will have a reset if Andy Woodward can beat Andrew Tang because it is still double elimination. It's the All-American final. It's the All-Andy final. And we are going to take a break to set that one up. But Bach, before we do, while we're covering the Hyperbullet Championship, we also want to remind everyone watching about the Bullet Chess Championship. The mouse-breaking violence is not just for today. Hopefully we get some dirty flags in the upcoming Bullet Chess Championship. It starts on June 22nd. There's a massive $50,000 prize pool on the line. Alireza Firouzja is back to defend his title. You'll have players like Bortnik, Denis Lazovic, Nihal Sarin, and so many more participating. So get your popcorn ready. We're excited to have that one happen next week as well. !BCC in chat for the full schedule. And we will be right back with the grand finals of this 2026 Hyperbullet Chess Championship.
Hey guys, if I make this in one go, we're gonna launch a no ads plan. Does an own goal count? Hey guys, new plan. If I make this shot, we're gonna launch a no ads plan. Hey guys, last try. If I make this bullseye, we're launching the no ads plan. No more questions. I did it! I made the bullseye! Do it! Launch the no ads plan!
Love chess but don't like ads? Sign up for Chess.com's no ads plan and play chess ad-free.
Watching Anish Giri videos before your chess game.
Red flag.
Specifically by Anish Giri. Well, he married one of my best friends, so yes, please do that.
Anything related to Giri is a huge red flag, so definite red flag there.
I mean, if that's what works for you, I won't judge too much.
Let's say red flag. Anish is a funny guy. I feel like might have you lose focus.
checking your horoscope predictions before a big chess game?
No, a red flag.
Big red flag. I don't buy into it.
That's a huge red flag. What I would say is that chess players are generally superstitious, though. So even if it's not a horoscope, many top chess players have certain superstitions around shirts or pens or other things related to games.
I think chess players tend to be superstitious, at least a lot of them. I don't personally check horoscopes, but I would say, you gotta believe in what you believe. I had a lucky pen, so let's say green and red.
Refusing to castle early.
Green flag. Allows for more flexibility later in the game.
Green flag?
Probably a red flag.
You gotta castle. Everyone, you gotta castle. The king is the most important piece. You need to castle. Please do not castle.
Calling an Uber for your opponent after defeating them.
Green flag, that's nice.
Oh, that's a nice gesture, I guess. That's green.
So now we just want you to say a few chess terms in your own language. Okay, so we can start with Czech.
We just say check.
Check.
It's Shah. Quack.
Schaak.
Check.
King.
It's Shah also.
Wow.
Kong, ja.
King.
Kung.
Koning.
Raju.
Queen.
Dronning.
Queen.
Mantri.
Ho.
Dame.
Wizard. Dam.
Rook.
Rook.
Ton.
True.
Enugu.
Tov.
Ton. Kale.
Knight.
Springere. At. Guzem.
Ma.
Paard. Springer.
Knight.
Bishop.
Bishop.
Een loper. Løper.
Lapare. Fil.
Sja.
Onte.
Castle.
Rock. We just say castle.
Wang du what?
Rokade.
Castle.
Rockade.
Rokade.
And checkmate.
Checkmate.
We just
Checkmate. Okay.
Jiangsha.
Schaakmat.
Quackmat. Schachmat.
Schaakmat.
Yeah, now we have it. Perfect.
Welcome back, everyone. The 2026 Hyperbullet Chess Championship concludes with potentially one, but maybe more matchups. However, there will only be 2 players competing. We're in our grand finals, Bach, and we have Andy Woodward and Andrew Tang, 2 Americans. They are so evenly matched that the first time, you can still see it on your screen right there, the winner's final, top left, the first time they matched up, a 1-point deficit. 16-15 in extra time. The World Cup is on, so in some extra time, Andrew Tang got the win, but Andy Woodward is going to be looking for revenge, and he won't be feeling, Bach, like he was insufficient or, the worst player in that last match. It literally just came down to a coin flip of one single game.
Absolutely. Yeah, it came down to the very last game of overtime. I wonder what would have happened after that. But anyway, it's going to be a rematch. Aman, who do you have in this one? Do you think Andy is going to have a slight edge now that he's all warmed up? Or perhaps Andrew with a little bit of rest?
Great question. I really do think that Andy Woodward will be playing a bit better in this one compared to the last one. So I'm going to say that we're going to see a reset. And it's so hard to predict a winner. So predicting a reset saves me from doing that because we don't know who's going to win after that. But I do think that Andy Woodward is going to come in guns blazing. He's warmed up, and I think he's got the speed to do it. So let's see. As things are underway, and it looks like first game was that Andrew Tang winning a queen. That's what it looked like. Yes, he's up 1-0 to begin.
Yep. All right, so Andrew taking the lead. I believe in the last match, Andrew was also in the lead for most of it, Andy fighting back.
Yep.
So let's see. I think a pattern we saw in the last match was Andy up on the board, maybe Andrew playing the slightly better chess, And we
Yep.
might see a bit of that happening here again.
Nice tactic right there. It's not going to be game over, but very nicely done. Yeah, really liking what Andrew Tang has done here, but he's down 6 seconds, like you just said.
Yeah, that's a lot of time in hyper. Oh, and there goes the B pawn.
There goes the knight. And yeah, the rooks coordinate so well together. As black, the likelihood of you dropping your rook is extremely high because you have to pre-move. And yeah, it's tough to do properly.
Yep, so Andy is going to tie it up. And yeah, like you said, he's not even going for the checkmate. He just pre-moves it out to a win.
I think that's a very good strategy. Basically, it's impossible to lose. If you're pre-moving every move and your opponent only has a king, it's impossible to lose if you have more time than them. So why not go for that strategy rather than maybe trying to checkmate, stumbling, stalemating? Only bad things could happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I like the fact that Andy switched it up to the Grunfeld. I feel like Andy is really good in these King's-Indian positions, but the Grunfeld, it's a little bit more dynamic, not as easy to navigate, perhaps.
Right. Yep, an advantage here on the board for Andy Woodward, which is always a good sign because when you check the clock, he's pretty much always ahead.
Yep, he's up 2 seconds, which, a lot of stuff hanging now.
Yep, there was 96 as a fork, so he had to do this. 95, that was a huge blunder. And oh my goodness, it's dark squares now. You have to feel that, yeah, black has this one.
Yeah. Okay, so Andy taking the lead.
Yeah, we have seen so much of Andy Woodward because we had that extra match we got to spectate that feels like we know kind of his play style pretty intimately in terms of what we expect out of the opening from him.
Yeah, I like this opening by Andy. I mean, he's up a pawn and he's up a lot of time again.
Yep, so much. And there goes a piece as well. Is there a reason he's not taking that? I think they're moving. Okay, yeah. I think the position's just not caught up because I was looking at that knight and it was staring at me too. There we go.
All right,
That's
so
more
that's
like
a 2-point lead by Andy. I mean, Andrew is going to have to up his game to get a chance in this match.
Mm-hmm. So many checks, getting it. Look at that gap, right? 10 seconds. I know he had the upper hand, the extra material, the safe king, everything, but still, that's a gap that you just don't expect.
All right, Andrew is already winning here, but of course, you got to fight on in hyper.
Mm-hmm. Nice job there. B3, knight c4, just creating trickery out of nowhere.
Okay. Oh, those knights are so tricky.
Man, what a tactic. Yep, and there goes more material. Unpleasant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does feel like the break was perhaps not ideal for Andrew Tang. Andy is crushing right now.
Bishop c2. Yep. And Andy, dominant thus far. 4-1, but we've seen how quickly these leads can swap hands. But I think it was, I wonder what the biggest lead was in their first match, but I seem to remember 3 points at least. I wonder if there was more, because here we have a 3-point lead for Andy Woodward. And, if he wins the next game, I'm just thinking that could be the most significant lead for either of them thus far.
Yep. Okay, it looks like Andrew is bringing it back to 2 here. I mean, I'd be to 2. I'd be shocked if he does not win this one.
Yeah,
but Andy's a fighter.
And there you go. Yeah, he's got no checks to worry about. Everything's safe. Nice. That should be it. More than enough time. And yeah, the respect resignation there. Obviously, with 6 seconds, it is more than enough time. But still, I was kind of expecting to see it played out.
Okay, some weird gambit here by Andrew, but he's got a very tough pin on the knight. But Andy just sacrifices it.
Yeah, queen d6 to avoid the trouble, but sometimes in these positions, you're trying to hang on to your queen so much, and the minor pieces just start dominating the position.
Yep. Okay, king h1. I like Andrew now, because with that... Oh, yeah, this is crushing. Take?
Yeah, I'm so nervous about my king there, wondering if... Yeah, rook d2. There you go. The king is just elusive. Queen e1, just to defend the pawn on b4. If I'm playing with the white pieces here, I'm interested almost in losing my queen for the... Yeah, there you go. That should be... Oh,
but he
got
loses.
outspeeded.
He slowed down way too much.
Yeah, he did. And you know what? He tried to use the king at the end, which I understand, moving on light squares. The only difference is he was down on time, so he probably needed to use his newly minted queen. And then you're not only moving on light squares, but you have opportunities to throw in checks, and that will take away pre-moves from your opponent.
Yeah, but Andy very cleverly at the end played king to h6, probably stopping pawn h6 pre-move from Andrew, and that gave him the flag.
It's those are the margins, right, for these guys.
Ooh.
Okay,
so
speed is an issue here because white can play a4. You lose the b pawn, but you don't care. And black's gonna have to do some winning on the board, which is brutal because you're gonna get flagged.
That is tough. And again, a huge time difference as Andy wins with an extra 8 seconds on the clock. And we're already looking at a 4-point gap here.
Yeah, 4-point gap. I wonder what it will be at, let's call it halftime, when we get there, because if it's 4 points or above, biggest lead that either of them have had so far, and probably significant enough for me to say that I would expect Andy to hold it.
Yep. All right. So we see Andrew up a couple pawns, with that king feeling a little airy on a4, although it might just be safe over there.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but it is looking safe. Bishop b5, you can't take it because your knight needs to defend down there, but that trade is helpful. And now I think white's down 2 to 3 seconds. Would you rather have white or black? You know, you're down time, but you're technically better.
Oh,
he misses
gets
g5.
g5 in. That is tough. Yep.
Oh, and now it should just be routine. But, he's covering every pawn.
Yeah,
how does he do it?
Yeah, he got the speed in just in time to save the draw.
I thought at least in that spot, black was going to make a queen because the white king committed so hard to the other side of the board. But then he swapped ideas and went back to collect the king side. In Hyperbullet, what happens is usually players, they get locked in on one piece. So if you're pre-moving, you'll often, instead of making like pre-moves on different sides of the board, it takes a lot of time and dexterity to do that. You'll move the same piece. So even though the king was hunting those pawns down, you might think, just promote on the other side of the board. It takes time to switch sides. And so you're more likely to see one pawn just make 8 moves in a row instead.
Yep. Okay, so let's see. Andrew is up 2 pawns, but it's looking tough on the clock. Oh, that's huge. Okay. Oh, that's huge as well.
The trade, that's everything you need.
Oh,
my goodness,
what
a stalemate.
A trap.
That one was unintentional, I think. I'll say it was intentional to the point where his instincts told him he wanted to put the king where he did because he knew it would be the trickiest. But I don't think he 100% knew that was stalemate, and it's so unfortunate for black.
This is a terrible position in Hyper, and yep, there white drops material.
Now it's a terrible position in chess as well.
Yes.
The pieces are invading. Look at these bishops. So funny. Rook takes g2, bishop h6. Yeah, now I'm officially concerned. You can get checked every which way here. Oh, and that's painful.
All right, that's another point for Andy Woodward as he's opening up a 5-point lead.
There we go. 8-3. We said we were going to check in at about halfway. Now it's more than halfway, and it's more than a 4-point deficit. So Andy Woodward, I don't know if it was the break, just playing a bit more hyper. I do think, me personally, Hyperbullet's something I warm up to. I usually play a little bit better as things go on.
Okay. Fortunate for Tang here. He was okay. Now he's winning again, or no, he's not. Never mind.
Yeah, it had to be so accurate there. You and I can barely process what's going on with slightly more time than the players to think about things. So it's tough enough for them to try to get things right.
But now he's winning, so we called it all along, and he's gonna bring it.
We had a good idea.
Yep. Okay.
Time is everything here. You want to sack for that pawn? No. Look at how he cut the king off beautifully there, and he probably snagged about a half a second to a second back, just covering moves that his opponent was likely trying to pre-move.
Yep. Okay, he drops a pawn there, but has some nice attacking chances here on the king side. I like this for white, especially in hyper.
We've seen this before. This is not the first time. Like the pawn on d4 is dropped for huge attacking prospects, and bishop h6. I don't know if it's forced mate, but it's extremely good in d4 drops as well. Will he take it with the queen?
Okay, but he drops a lot of material in the process.
A ton.
Oh.
He's just lost.
Yeah, let's see if Andy can. I think he's gonna get it done.
The speed from Andy is insane right now. He was actually down time, but I mean, he had rook d1 he threw in. It's just unbelievable, the speed.
And that is a little bit of bad luck for Andrew. Like, had he had the king on a5 when black queened, it would have been a draw, but
yep,
he was just on the wrong square.
Agreed. I'm wondering if he would have still promoted there. Oh, and he misses a tactic. That one is a mistake that he'll want back, because that's probably the easiest game for Andrew Tang in this match. Cutting the lead to 4, it's not nothing. But now I think if it ballooned to 5, I would start to be concerned. I really would, Bach. I think this is a critical game.
Yep, I'm with you there. I think this is a must-win game. I mean, also to give him a little bit of momentum again in the match, but it's looking great for white. He's just crushing here.
Yep. Yeah, d6. You got the queen positioned perfectly in the center. Then f4. It's only tricks you're hoping for with the black pieces here, because you're even down on time. So let's see what Andy can do. Down a ton on the board and the clock. So far, I'm extremely impressed. I really am. This is insane.
He managed to fight back on both the board and the clock, and I think, okay, Tang is going to have to... Can he get the draw? Oh, that is tough.
He can't get the draw. So to put it in perspective, Andy Woodward was down a piece and down... I actually saw about more than 4 seconds, and he came back to win it on the board, let alone on the clock. This is a dangerous, dangerous player when it comes to this format. Like, what do you even do against that?
I don't know. Because also in this game, it looks like he was lost. He whips up some tactics, and now he's just in the game. Oh.
Yeah, take f2, but... Oh, rook e8. Yeah, I thought rook e8, he must have been expecting rook d8 if he played rook e2, but I thought rook e8 was a good move, so I don't think there was any trickery there. Andy's going to let the time run out. That was so crucial that Andrew Tang won that, because if not, immediately I think the match is over.
Yep. All right, so Andrew has to win the next 2 or 3 games as well to get back in the match.
I think so.
Okay, I like the position he has.
He's always got great attacking positions. The problem is, sometimes when you're attacking, Bach, maybe you know from Blitz as well, you have such a good position, you want the attack to work, and you spend so much time trying to get it to work that when it doesn't result in checkmate, suddenly you're down on time. Oh, that's a bad move. King G8. Okay, well, that's helpful, isn't it?
Yep. It's kind of funny. As soon as you said the word checkmate, rook h8 was available.
So here, e5, he took last time, and he lost the game immediately. He's not going to do that. Yeah, I'm not going to manifest another checkmate on the board, although...
This isn't much better. I mean, he's down a piece, and okay, he's up a few seconds on the clock, but
at
surely,
least, like if I'm not
Andrew
up on the clock, I'm wondering what I'm doing here. Check. I thought e2 might get played, but this is also pretty decent. Checks everywhere. Ooh, rook e6 is tricky, but fortunately for Andrew, he pre-moved a great pre-move of queen g3 with a check.
Okay. Oh, but he's got 3 seconds, but gets it done.
Amazing checkmate pattern. That comes from Puzzle Rush, guys. Just knowing that the bishop and queen coordinate like that. Beautifully done. This is theory for the guys. They played this a number of times. To be honest, we've actually seen this exact blunder from Andy Woodward before. We've seen him lose material like that. It's to the point where he's almost considering it theory. It's a bad line, loses material, but he can play it quickly. And he probably won one of his previous games with it. So he's like, whatever, it's not the biggest deal.
Yep. All right. So let's see if Andrew can convert his advantage this time around, as he's up an exchange and a pawn. But it's tricky with these knights jumping around, the a file wide open.
Like, apparently, we're supposed to believe white's winning here, but queen a1 is just such a scary proposition.
I thought queen c3 was still winning, but now his king is just getting hunted all around the board.
He trades the queen, so he has a chance here, but nobody is faster than Andy Woodward. Nobody.
Nope.
Wow.
That is a tough loss for Andrew Tang. I mean, had he won that game, it would have been down to 1 point, but now it's back to 2, so he needs to win the next 2 games.
Must win. Right now, guaranteed, because a draw, not enough. The gap is 3. This will force a reset in the grand final if Andy can get it done. And actually, this is lost here, and it's lost quickly. So it's about the worst result that you could have.
Yep. Andrew is going to win this one, and then he'll have to win the next one to force overtime once again.
Yep, he's pushing the pawns, getting everything on dark squares. He definitely knows what he's doing here. And there's no doubt that Andrew Tang's going to win. It's just maybe how much time will be left afterwards.
Yeah, shouldn't matter that much. I mean, there will be probably 2 more games. There will be 2 more games now, right?
Yeah, I suspect we could get 2 more games. We're most...
That is dirty.
Andy plays knight e3 because maybe he's thinking, I can win outright with a dirty move like that. So actually, he's going to resign, but the reality is the match is over with that resignation, because even if you bring it back to 2, that doesn't matter. It's over. So Andy Woodward gets it done with knight e3, Buck, a dirty move. Like I said, it's been too professional. We haven't seen enough of that in this format. I thought the whole event was going to be full of it.
Yeah, but that was a dirty move indeed. Okay, yeah, there's just not enough time for Andrew to win this one.
Yep, this is over. And we say it's over also because even if Andrew wins it, it really doesn't matter because the deficit is 2. What's important is the match clock has expired. Stalemate trick. And there you go. So Andrew Tang wins it, but no, it doesn't matter for the match score. And that means that Andrew Tang has now lost, say one of his lives, right? Double elimination. And now the players are on even footing when it comes to this next matchup. The grand final has been reset, which now means there's no extra life. It is just this next matchup. Who can win it? The grand final reset between Andrew Tang and Andy Woodward. We had a 1-game deficit in the winner's final earlier. Now a 2-game deficit in the grand final. Now there's no more chess after the grand final reset. So, Buck, we saw Andy Woodward storm back. when looking ahead to this next matchup, is it going to be more of the same? Based on what you saw there, the speed from Andy, the chess from Andrew, both playing to their strong suits. What do you see in this grand final reset?
Yeah, one thing that should give Andrew a little bit of hope is that I felt like towards the end of that match, he was playing better chess. In the beginning, Andy was just crushing it. He was up like 4 or 5 points. But in the end, Andrew brought it back to like 2 or 3. So that does give him some hope.
And do you think he'll be fueling his chess with some rage maybe after that dirty 93 move?
I think so. Yeah, that was pretty dirty.
I know that if I was playing the match, I'd probably still be thinking about 93. Like, oh man, you little. Ah.
I don't know about what Andy is doing here. This looks losing, and yeah, it might seem like Andrew's going to open up the score here.
Yeah, 95 is particularly annoying though. So he does drop that, and then he can defend with the rook. But his idea is, I'm going to push the b pawn. I'll even sack potentially for the bishop. It doesn't matter. I don't see a checkmate. Oh, now I do.
Oh,
now I do.
Oh, that is tough.
You can see how even, I mean, I didn't necessarily miss it, but you could tell as I was commentating on it, I was like, no, I see it now. And that's probably what he felt as well. But he doesn't have the luxury of just switching. Oh, okay, it's checkmate. No, that's it's over on the spot. So that is a really good way to start for Andy because he swindled a dead loss position.
Yep. All right. So in this one, things are looking good for Andrew. He's up a pawn. I mean, amazing knight on d3. Let's see if he can come back, but he's down on the clock, come on.
Yeah, typical. We've come to expect that. Rook will take on d5 and queen d4, rook f7. The speed at which he brought out that tactic is shocking.
Yep, and Andy opens up a 2-point lead.
My goodness. That was the puzzle rush coming in. I'm so impressed by that. It's like rook takes d5, queen b8, nothing should be wrong. Boom, check.
This
back.
is the third.
No, this is theory,
third time. Yes.
Yeah, if you any kids watching here, you want to make sure you're booked up. Make sure you know about this theory here in the Grunfeld.
Yeah, it's okay. Wait, this is just losing. Yeah, he's down a rook.
Yeah,
okay.
We've got to call it. Oh, rook b4. Watch out. He allows rook b4.
No. That is tough, hanging his queen there. Now I like Andy because he's up on time, and the queen is just so much easier to play with than the 2 rooks.
So do you think, Bach, that result is going to empower Andy Woodward to make this exact same blunder, this theory? Like, he keeps winning with it, so why would he stop playing it?
I would be surprised if he falls into it a 4th time. I mean, it's just so losing, but
do you
never know.
Think he's falling into it? Or do you think he's allowing it because it's the quick moves, whatever?
I think he's falling into it. It just sort of happens to him every time.
Yeah. He just keeps falling into it.
Okay, Andrew has got the queen here for rook and bishop. I like the queen.
Yeah, definitely. Trying to find inroads into the position here. b5, just looking to get something open, and that is a pawn on d3. That's crucial.
Oh, but that c pawn.
It's over. White has the edge here.
How did this flip around in like a matter of seconds? Wait, not over yet. And he's got 6 seconds. Check.
What do you do?
And he might have to take the draw.
Yeah, he wants the draw. Is black going to take it? I thought we might see something different from black, but no, players agree. Draw 3.5 to half. Andrew stops the bleeding, but Bach, are we going to see the same blunder again?
No. All right, still queen c3, I thought. What a nice...
Wow. Even allowing c takes d5 and d4. They have played some pretty interesting games in the Grunfeld, I have to say. For Hyper, we've seen some genuine attacks, like some real chess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, we see Andrew up a couple pawns here, but Andy with the activity.
Yeah, d7 can't be played, but here come all the pawns. And actually, Gotta watch out for checkmate. G5, rook f6, rook e7. Yep.
Where's the... I don't see the mate, though. Oh, up.
Oh, there it is. Mate in 1. The pieces are being vacuumed off the board so quickly there. Andrew Tang, ladies and gentlemen, is finally on the board for real with a win. And that's 1.5 points now up against the 3.5 for Andy with a quarter of our time gone. I think Andrew is starting to reclaim some territory here.
Yeah, really important to bring it back to 2. I mean, if it's 3 points, you don't want to let it balloon, like you said. But if it's 2 points, you're very much in striking distance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, queen f4. He's going to get that move, followed by g4. Love that decision. And, queen f7. I did not see that.
Neither did I, but okay. Wow, what a game are we looking at right now?
He's going to sack there. Jeez, it's so impressive, these guys, because, rook takes c1. Are we going to see an opposite bishop endgame? This is absolutely over and a win for white. Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, that is tough. Andy is just so much faster on the clock.
Big blunder. Andy Woodward, he's taking... I won't say that Andrew's tilted, but he's definitely... What happens is you get behind in a match, you have to make some adjustments to change things. So maybe you say, I'm going to play faster. And then because you're playing faster and your opponent realizes you're trying to make that adjustment, you get hit with things at the beginning. You blunder.
Yeah.
He's trying to keep up with the speed. It's costing him.
Yep. Okay, he's fighting back here. He's got 2 minor... I don't like that decision.
So as long as he can sack for these pawns, he'll be okay. But I don't think white's letting that happen.
Oh, d2.
D2.
He still has the a pawn.
He's still going to get another queen.
Oh. Okay, no, but he's got no time. It's hopeless.
Yeah. So black should just shuffle. The knight basically...
Oh, that's huge.
He won the queen. How did he do that?
Can he get the win, though? He can get the drop, but can he? Oh, that's a nice win for Andrew.
Point 2. Buck, that has to be one of the most incredible wins because so many things had to go right for that to work. I was saying, look, the pieces versus the queen have the edge, but I thought he was just going to repeat for a draw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but maybe that is the little bit of luck that Andrew needs right now to get back in the match.
That was incredible. Still can't believe it. And against one of the fastest players that we have, right, in Andy Woodward. So it's not just you have to play fast, but your opponent is playing so quick as well. Nice move.
Andrew winning another game. He can bring it back to 2.
Yep. Approaching the halfway mark, well within striking distance. Andrew Tang, 100% winning this. He's going to put the king in the corner. Yeah, he's trying to go for it, but I think at this level, you still go for it because it still might work, but people definitely know what you're up to.
The Rosen trap is what you're referring to, right?
That's right.
Yep. Okay, so let's see. It's back to 2. Okay, so let's see if Andrew can build on that momentum.
Yeah, both players rerouting their knights to the outposts, c5 and c4.
Yep. Okay, e5, nice move by Andrew.
Ooh, the retaliation there. He's going to open that dark squared bishop no matter what.
And with... Oh, that's a huge fork.
Yep, that's probably too much. Andy Woodward should be going down here. Again, nice move, rook e8, and that should be it.
Yeah, Andy fighting it out until the end, but this is more than enough time for Andrew.
Mm-hmm. Look at that. 5.5 to 4.5. A reminder that there's nothing after this. So whoever wins this will be your 2026 Hyperbullet Champion.
Yep, they're again having the Grunfeld, which I feel like has worked out in Andrew's favor so far. Yep. And he's got a nice position again.
Yeah, and we remember, Bach, just in terms of, you know, the previous edition, Andrew Tang is the defending champion. So he's trying to hold off the surging Andy Woodward and rapidly improving.
Yep. Okay, Andy was doing well, but he sacrificed a piece for not enough. Let's see if Andrew can convert.
I like F4. Oh, now you're winning. Well, not winning, but like exchanging the queens, which is a big deal.
Oh, that's a huge hang. But
okay,
he's gonna
White
win,
should
right?
do this. You should be able to get this done with the white pieces. It's going to be a close time scramble, but he gets it
But not
done.
if your name is Andrew Tang.
That's right.
Yeah.
5.5, 5.5. It started, what was the difference? Maybe 4 points at some point, but he's completely brought this thing back. And this is such a key moment mentally. There's 9 minutes remaining, but he has the opportunity to take the lead, Bach, and that's just something that's been a foreign concept thus far.
Yeah, wait, bishop c2? Oh, yeah. Or,
Rook
queen.
C4. Oh, queen c2, even better.
Ooh, that's a tough hand. Oh, and he's losing 2 pieces.
Oh, it's a disaster.
Yeah.
That is a very quick win and just kind of silences things, right? Right when you thought the comeback was on, it's not on anymore.
Yep. Okay, so we see Andy making some adjustments in the Grunfeld.
They've been here before in something similar to this.
Yes. Yeah. Oh,
the same kind of tactic.
That is tough.
Oh, and what a nice finish there. So Andy Woodward has benefited from finding the exact same kind of tactic twice in a row, taking advantage of a pin and taking that 2-game lead right back. Andrew Tang has not led in this match.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Andrew winning a pawn here, but he's got a few seconds on the clock. Castles, queenside, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. All right. 92.
The bishops are so annoying here. Yeah. At some point, you move to clarify things. You know you're losing material, but it's like, please, just take it.
Yeah, but, you know, and he's up on the clock, and now the material's even again.
Oh, rook c4. But that rook c4 is super careless because you know what move to expect. Oof.
But I think the time difference was already too much. It was already like 5 seconds or so.
It was, but when you're playing those positions and you have the rook behind the pawn, sometimes it's actually really easy to play and you can pre-move very easily. So he definitely threw something away there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's see. Andrew up a pawn, but Andy some compensation.
3 points right there. So after taking on c4, he's taking this moment to play e5 because he knows he should win material here.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see if he can finish this off. It's a clean piece, and he's still perhaps some rook b8 and queen c4. No, that was a free rook.
It was a free rook, and the mistakes are stacking up though. The slip, queen e8.
Yeah. Okay. So a win for Andrew. Very important, bringing back to 2 with a little bit less than 7 minutes on the clock.
There you go. 8.5, 6.5, 6 minutes remaining. This is a win by 2 requirement. So right now it would be enough. I think we must just be missing moves here once again. Coming in so quick. I'm assuming we'll get the update shortly. Nobody's thinking that long on e6. So, what a bad fork to allow. Andrew Tang was trying to go for checkmate with g4, queen h3, and gets royally forked in the process.
Yep, so it's back to 3. I mean, at some point, Andrew needs to win a few games in a row to really come back in this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so black usually goes full offensive here. Queen a5, bishop b5, rook b8. But white's done a good job at neutralizing, and you don't even need to go for an attack anymore. You can just play the position.
Mm-hmm. All right, Andy up a few seconds on the clock, though. He's such a quick maneuver. Oh, that was really well set up.
Oh, knight f4 is painful. What a tactic, everyone. You take that, no matter how you take it, the pawn takes back, and it's almost like white created the barrier for his own king. And that was why the move was even more powerful. 10.5, 6.5. Bach, 5 minutes left. Are we in must-win territory? I will say, in the previous matchup, this is when Andrew started winning. He was clutch when it mattered.
Yeah, but he's down a piece right now. No, it's gonna be 5. I think I don't see him coming back, honestly.
He should maybe consider resigning here, but that's a tough thing to do. It's not resigning the match, it's resigning to actually help yourself have a better chance in the match, because I would not rate my chances very high in this position.
Especially not against Andy, who has been so consistent. Yeah.
There you go. It's not mate, but you have to give up your rook for that. So 4 minutes, 26 seconds. We have a deficit of 5. If we see a win here, or even a draw, I want to say, it's over, probably even mathematically.
Yep, but Andrew's got a great position here. He's up a pawn. But now Andy taking some control. Oh, 96.
Yeah, 96 looks good. Yeah, they're just bringing the pieces over. Why not? Andrew Tang not getting his attack punched through this time. And he's also down on the clock. Andy Woodward looking to do it yet again.
Yep.
Oh, he just sacks for it. Like, he doesn't need a calculation that works there. He just he just went for it. Andrew Tang going for the win on the board.
Yep. Can he get it done?
Oh,
yes,
it's made.
He gets it done.
With 1.9 seconds. He made it himself, by the way, with rook e8. So, Andy, a mistake in the clutch there. It's going to be such a close call whether he has enough time to get these games in, Bach. But technically, I think that he just might.
Yeah, I think a mistake not to take the light square bishop, but he still has nice compensation.
Mm-hmm.
Before.
Yep. There's the idea, hitting the d2 pawn. He's going to trade the bishops, though. That's super helpful with bishop f1. Yeah, he's not trading those queens. I like f4.
Nope.
Ooh, f4 now and rook e3, rook c3. I think black has made some crazy progress here. Oh, but dropping the bishop is a big mistake.
And hanging the rook as well. I think that's the match.
That might be the match right there. 12.5, 7.5. It's 100% over. It was going to be a close call whether he could bring it back with the time remaining previously, but after a loss is 100% over because there's 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Maximum, you get 3 more games. And even if you win all 3 of them, it's a loss.
Maybe if you win them very quickly, you have a chance, but I think it's too much to ask.
I mean, winning them at all would be impressive, let alone quickly. So yeah, Andrew, unsurprisingly, he's up a lot on the clock, and that's because he's playing like he has to be up on the clock, which is the reality.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, Andrew gets a win, and he could have perhaps milked a little. He could have perhaps milked a little bit more clock there.
Yeah, I agree. He also could have traded the queens, black. So his forced queen trade he didn't take. If he doesn't win this match, I look at that as a very serious blunder. But for now, not going to read into it too much. He's got a huge lead, 4 points. He really only needs one result to fall in his favor.
Yeah. Andrew is winning again, but I think it's too much to ask.
No, this is a good recovery, though. He's up on the clock here. He's winning on the board. Queen a2, perhaps? Yep. This is pretty good. Queen d1. He's getting surgical with this conversion. Really, really well done.
Okay, it's back to 3, but it's not enough.
I'm not going to lie. It's a very impressive comeback, but Andy Woodward, I think, kind of just knows that it's not possible. There's 40 seconds. basically compare the match clock to Andy Woodward's clock. That's what we're working with here.
But he's getting crushed here. Wait, I thought check and then...
Yeah, Tang has to get a mate, though. He's going for it, but I just don't see the mate. The king is sprinting around, and yeah, it's crushing, but it's not over. And you need it to be over. Look at the match clock. Look at Andy's time. And by the way, they're still moving in the background here. Andy's just not going to lose, right, before the time expires. So he's going to lose this game. He just lets it run out. Match clock at 0. 2 points is the margin, but 2 points is the margin you need. And Andy Woodward is officially, Bach, going to be the 2026 Hyperbullet Champion, and he takes that title away from Andrew Tang by beating him and also beating him in a reset. So quite impressive, and it literally doesn't get closer. The first match, it was a 1 point deficit in tiebreaks. The next 2 matches, 2 point deficits in the regular portion of the match. So incredible performance as we see the grand final and grand final reset for your winner, Andy Woodward. Bach, your thoughts on Woodward's performance to bring it back twice and just come back a different player, it felt like, than their first encounter?
Yeah, it was great to see these both players going neck and neck and just seeing such great chess. But Andy was just a little bit better, just faster overall. Really good chess. And Drew picked up the pace just a little bit too late to come back in the match.
Yeah, I really wonder whether, I'd be curious to ask, maybe in our interview would be a great time to do that, which is upcoming. But I was thinking to myself, is that break maybe something that threw off Andrew, just not getting reps of Hyperbullet, could actually be really impactful? So speaking of that, perfect segue into the fact that we will be taking a break and getting an interview with our new champion, Andy Woodward, very deserved in the Hyperbullet Championship. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll hear from our champion right after this.
So Jeremiah from Guatemala and Eon 18 from South Korea.
We're the 3-minute game
Yeah,
as well?
3-minute game, no increments.
And similarly rated.
Yes, correct. White starts off with d4, d5, e3, c5, knight c3,
oh boy,
knight c6, d takes c5, d4.
Yeah, this is not a good game.
Knight f3.
Oh boy.
D takes c3, b takes c3, bishop g4, knight g5.
Yeah, that's pretty egregious to do in a blitz game.
f6.
No.
Knight e6.
Oh boy.
And then we have the
queen takes d1.
Queen takes d1 move. Yep.
Yeah, this is. I have no idea. I think this is very, very, very low rated players. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of thinking ahead. I'm gonna guess 250.
You're too generous. It's actually 100 for white and 117 for black.
Okay, I felt that some of the moves were at least somewhat decent, so I would have imagined that like 100 chess is just like people have no idea.
And the accuracy for white in this game?
5.
25.6. And black?
There were some I mean, d4 was horrible. f6 was horrible. The rest of the moves were okay. Maybe 40%?
Actually 55.5.
Yeah, that was so generous. You can't have that after missing mating 1.
Welcome back, everyone. Just concluded the 2026 Hyperbullet Chess Championship, and Bach and myself are joined by the winner, Andy Woodward. Welcome, Andy. I mean, a hearty congrats for taking out the defending champion, Andrew Tang. You went the distance. Your first match couldn't have been closer. Then the grand final, then the reset. You played so much chess against one person today, so you know it better than anyone. Tell us about the matches. Was this the player coming in that you pretty much expected to meet in the final?
Yeah, so today in general, I guess it was really difficult. Yeah, to answer the last question, it's probably who I thought was going to be the biggest challenge, especially since he won the last two Yos and has an immense amount of experience. But yeah, in general, like I was really lucky in lots of matches, and yeah, I mean the first match against Andrew was, I think, the most interesting because it was, first of all, it was the longest, but also it was pretty nerve-wracking. And like there was points where just one move would win the match for both of us, but we kept like messing it up over and over again. So yeah, in general, like I had to use a couple tricks to win because he's really good if I don't. So yeah, in general, it was just a really fun match, and he's really good. So
Yeah, congratulations, Andy. And I wanted to ask you, so after you lost that first match against Andrew, you had to go back to the losers bracket, which perhaps gave you a little bit of momentum. Do you feel like that gave you a little bit of an edge as opposed to Andrew, who had to cool off a little bit?
yeah, I'm not sure. It could work either way. I guess for me, it actually ended up helping, considering how the rest of the event went. But in general, I think it is easier to take a break. But yeah, I guess that the match against Jeffrey did get my mouse skills getting a bit faster and more accurate. So I think that helped in general.
Yeah, Andy, I actually wanted to ask you, we're obviously all playing Bullet here, the Bullet Championship upcoming. Hyperbullet is still with the Bullet time control in terms of the rating. But I wanted to ask you, is there anything that you notice in Hyper that's really different from 1 minute chess? Like anything in terms of your strategy, maybe openings, if there's a bigger weight on perhaps speed and maybe certain moves that you can make you wouldn't make in Bullet. Do you notice anything that's kind of Hyper specific?
Yeah, I guess you kind of have, in my, at least for me, I tend to emphasize playing fast over playing good. I think it's kind of different because with 1 minute you have to actually like play good chess for like 80% of the game, and then the very end is just random. But Hyperbullet, I feel like it's a clean mix of like speed and fast, good moves. So I guess that's probably one main difference. And also, something specific about this tournament, especially Blue Bomb and Andrew, they both they both kept refuting my opening, well, not my openings, but like my setups. So I had to quickly like change throughout different kinds of ideas and setups throughout the match, and it was really difficult. So yeah, I guess that's also a pretty interesting aspect that I hadn't really looked at before.
hmm One thing we also found quite interesting, Andy, is that there was this line in the Grunfeld where you had a losing position like 3 times from the opening, where he went like knight b5, takes c7, knight e6, but you won like 3 of those games. So Amon was even wondering if at some point you did it on purpose.
Actually, like maybe the third or fourth time I started doing it on purpose because it was kind of like a psychological block I felt for him. So I guess at first I was just playing it because it was like natural moves and kind of like feels like this thing when I'm playing hypo matches. If I get into like the groove of playing something so many times, then I don't have time to play something else. So I just play whatever I've played before. So yeah, I guess it was just partially instinct, but at the end it was also partially strategy.
All right, we got some chat questions for you, Andy. I'll start with one that almost feels like a personal attack here. Arrow Powell asks, how many times in a row would you adopt Amon Hambleton in Hyperbullet Chess? And just for the record, we have played, the score is heavily in your favor at, I think, about 22.5 to 2.5. So how many times would you adopt me in Hyperbullet?
I would say one max. I mean, it's really difficult. I mean, at this level, I mean, winning by huge margins is different from adopting, so you kind of need a mix of luck and skill. So I would say one if I got lucky.
Well, the good thing about that answer is it's already factually true. It has happened once, so I think that's a pretty honest answer. I'll take that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not going to ask the same question. I know you would just adopt me as many times as you want, but I know everyone knows you're also a very serious over-the-board classical player. You've had a great rise over the last year. How do you fit bullet at all in your training as you prepare for upcoming tournaments, or how is it part of your routine?
I mean, I try to limit too much bullet, but I get kind of addicted at some point, so it kind of just naturally becomes a part of my daily routine while training. I do think in some aspects it can help with like fast calculation and like seeing tactics pretty fast, but at other times it can of course affect your play, such as like playing too fast, which I've made that mistake multiple times. So I guess it kind of just is a part of my routine. I mean, I wouldn't say it's probably the best thing to do, but it is like a small fun thing to add that I guess keeps me kind of having a good time and motivated.
Very nice. I guess with the Bullet Chess Championship, that'll be my last question. It's upcoming. You know, there's some players in this event that we definitely expect to be quite good bullet players, but not everyone, right? There are some specialties. So maybe with the Bullet Chess Championship upcoming, do you see any, favorites in that? Perhaps some players that are good at hyper that you expect to excel there? Obviously, Firouzja will be back defending, but any expectations for the upcoming BCC?
Yeah, I guess there was lots of really talented teenagers also, including the regulars, like the Turkish boys, Edis and Odogmus, and then there was also like all these other online speed demons like Liam Putnam and like again like Chirilov from this tournament. And yeah, I guess I kind of wanted to play, but I have like a schedule conflict, so I'll just get to see how they all do. So it'll be really fun.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate that you have a schedule conflict, because we would have loved to see you play in there as well. I have one last question. We saw 3 Americans coming in the top 3 in this event. Are you also watching the World Cup?
Yeah, I've been following some of the matches. I'm not too up to date with it, but I've been checking on the games here and now and results.
Yep, I think well, actually, they're in progress right now. So what's the live score? Yeah, US is up 2-0 right now against Australia live. So it's a All-American day, it looks like. And with that, Andy, I also have to shout out. I think you have the highest bullet rating on the site, period, at like 3662. So all incredible, great performance today, and congrats on the Hyperbullet victory. Something to add to your growing collection.
Yeah, thank you. I really enjoyed it.
All right. Well, there you go. That's Grandmaster Andy Woodward, and just dominant. Bach is one way to say it. He bounced back from that initial loss to Andrew Tang, took out the defending champ, 2-point margin. I think he showed some flagging, a little bit of dirty moves in there. You have to, and he also showed a lot of just kind of like gamesmanship about knowing how to use the clock and get that 2-point margin. So an all-encompassing performance.
Yeah, no, great chess by him. He was just overall, I think nobody really could match his speed, so he's definitely the deserving winner of today.
Yep. No, that's exactly right. And it feels like, the Hyperbullet coverage, it felt so quick. just like the format itself. But that's what we come to expect from this tournament. We had some of the best players in there. We had some over performances, some underdogs. Ultimately, it came down to Andrew and Andy Woodward takes the crown for this year. He is your 2026 Hyperbullet Chess Champion. And a final reminder before we say goodbye about the upcoming Bullet Chess Championship. That's right, it is happening next week. I myself will be on the coverage, so look forward to bringing you guys all of the action. Again, that's !BCC in the chat. But from myself and Grandmaster Benjamin Bach, the whole production team here, a quick and hyper bullet chess broadcast, and Andy Woodward is your winner. Bye for now.